I can't believe you do that.
I'm the one YouTube fan.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
So we are streaming, by the way. I'm back. Hi, me, the DM. I'm back. How's it going? There's somebody.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
I've also so you know how like I set up audio on my microphone for like Twitch and whatnot. I've also set up the same filters on Discord. So you guys, hopefully you guys will sound great because I've got like limiters and compressors and gain and all that jazz.
Oh yeah.
I've not listened back to it. It could sound awful. Hey ho.
I cranked my mic up and completely destroy all that.
I mean,
Terra's voice will be as beautiful as air, and mine will just be like crunch.
I think the nice thing is,
like I don't know what the JPEG is.
When you set up like compressors and limiters and stuff, like it should keep your voices like at some kind of what's the word? Some kind of like acceptable levels, basically, right? Like some kind of bass. So hopefully it picks up the music. I don't know if it filters the music out. That's a bit of a worry. I think it might actually filter the music out. That's hilarious.
Well, that saves you copyright issues at least.
Nah, fuck that shit. We need the music. If I just remove noise suppression, will that do it? Let's see.
Yeah, because in theory, Discord's now got proper latent ones. They're built-in suppression, in theory.
I thought that was
Also, you don't have to worry about copyright if it's unlisted.
Yeah,
that's true.
It will claim it, but in the like
There's no cache.
I've realised that the music thing's a bit of a problem, so I'm just going to get rid of all the filters on you guys. Sorry, guys. We need a
Music's
soundtrack.
more important.
We need a soundtrack. It's very important.
I have a video claimed by Tom Scott, which is hilarious.
Okay. So right. Anyway, we've nattered about limiters and compressors and gain. Hi guys, it's session 4 of the D&D campaign. You guys remember D&D? That's crazy. So, I wrote up a little thing in the chat, but I shall read it regardless because why not, right? So, like as a recap of last session, you guys made your way through the corrupted Whispering Grove. You encountered a small camp in which you picked up a journal in a language that you do not recognize, and a statue of Sylvanus that you kind of freed from seemingly somebody blindfolded it, and it had like vines wrapped around it, and as soon as you cleared it up, it felt like the forest was on your side to some extent. You moved through to the center of the grove, where there is a corrupted mass growing on the elder tree. You fought off displacer beasts and what are they called? Blink dogs, and then Arian with his healing hands helped cure the kind of wound on the weave that had been left behind. So that brings us to where we are now. The once corrupted Whispering Grove now stands strong and still in reverence of you all. The corruption it was once rife with seems to have sapped away in the blink of an eye. It is a little later in the day than you thought it would be. Time seems to fly when you're in a vision. A scorch mark on the great tree is the only lasting scar the grove seems to bear. There's a dead Dwergar mangled at your feet. There is still some heat emanating in the air around him, but his blood seems to have long turned cold. At the end of last session, you prized a purple gemstone from his closed, blackened hand, and it swelled with an unfamiliar, otherworldly radiance. And that's where we start. That's where we start. You guys had a little examine of this small purplish shard. But the dead Dwergar still seems to give off a little bit of heat. You're not entirely sure why. I present the stage to you.
Well, before anything too big, after receiving the vision from the tree, Hera is going to kind of uncharacteristically throw their rapier to the ground and immediately walk off. just into the forest a little bit until they can't see anybody.
That is a fair response. Yes.
Journey, I think, wipes some tears from her face and goes like, did you also have visions?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what quite to make of it, to be frank.
You do, as I say, I think I mentioned that you do pat down your pockets and feel an extra coin in there.
Yeah, and I'll take it out and take a look at it. And does it look any different, or is it just like the coin I left behind?
It does look different, yes. It's got the same feel, and you feel like it's the same coin, but it bears the visage of Timora, the deity of fortune of prosperity, with a radiant smile on one side, and on the other side there is a duo of fortuitous dice. It has a kind of gentle hum of power to it as you hold it.
I don't remember seeing that, and I'll just start like rolling it over my knuckles.
I would say that at one point you like drop the coin and you witness it kind of disappear into thin air and then just like reappear up your sleeve. Like it's got a weird kind of illusory quality to it, this coin.
I'll pocket it again. And I'll also move up to Arian, and I'll say to him, "Thanks for the thought in the fight there, kid. But trust me, I don't need the help. I would have been fine on my own, but no displacer beast would take me out like that."
Aaron's kind of just very chill now because his vision has just like chilled him out a lot. So he's kind of like relaxed a lot. He's just like he is feeling the effects of like being more connected to the dragon. So he's very just like trying to so he's almost not hearing you and not reacting because he's just trying to puzzle out his bond. And so he's basically full on is ignoring you and just like touching, like stroking the dragon, but like trying to like you see his like eyes are closed. Both of their eyes are closed as he's doing this.
That is honestly very fair. It's just like somebody comes up to you, almost got killed by a displacer beast, says, "I don't need your help," and then you're like, "You literally don't pay attention." Quote from man that almost got one hit by a displacer beast. I'm fine.
What are you gonna do? Stab me?
I would say, yeah, you do feel like a noticeable, like to be fair, like I don't know if it's even necessarily that your bond has even. I would say like your emotional bond hasn't necessarily changed.
No,
like
so I think it's almost like it's now like slightly attached to the weave.
Yeah, it's like physically and magically seems to be more interconnected with you. Like
yes,
even more than it was. Like and you do like your dragon does look noticeably like I don't know, like the best way of describing it is like a little bit larger, not like it's grown a size or whatever, but it's a little bit larger, a little bit hardier, you know? Like it's...
Yeah, so I'm almost thinking like, you know, from like, remember the Game of Thrones TV show? Like it's almost like, you know, when they're... See, it's gone from like they first bought, like looking like one of the firstborn dragons at the end of season 1 to like in season 2 when it's starting to finally breathe its own fire. Like, you know, it's just that little bit bigger.
I imagine it's like, yeah, it's almost like it's aged like a bit. To some extent.
Yeah, exactly. Like you know, like maybe it's like almost aged a month over the course of this.
Like a second.
You know, 20 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much, right. Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Rai claiming that they don't need anything. We got Arian petting the dragon. We got Terra who has wandered off. Journey, you did ask around, and Scraps responded about having seen a vision. And And what about Eric as well, Bryn?
Probably hearing like the vision, he'll probably be like, yeah, he'll definitely be a bit more distant with like how he's responding. Like you can definitely tell he's thinking a lot. But what he'll probably do is he'll go over to the dead Drogar and he'll probably investigations it to check the body, see if there's anything else they've missed.
Absolutely, please do. Just give me an investigation check, but I'm going to assume that you do find some things regardless.
13.
Right. So first thing you notice, kind of like tossed to the side nearby him, you find another leather-bound journal, very similar to the one that you found in the tent. I would say smaller than the other one, like a little black book, similar lettering on the front, and again, unreadable language inside of it. But
we'll get to that. So I assume. Well, I wonder how you're doing it. Have we gained the benefits of the level up yet?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yeah. Like this is like I'm saying that you guys are basically long rested, in essence.
So what I'll say. Yeah, so this is what kind of makes most sense to my character.
Yeah.
Maybe this dude either has like a spell book or something, or maybe I've got it like stored away in like a spell book, or maybe no. Actually, here's what works. It was what I was working on the way here. So what Uruk will probably do while all this is happening, he'll probably sit down with the book, and I am going to study up, and I'm going to cast Comprehend Language as a ritual.
Oh, excellent! I was going to say, that if you would like, also there was a couple of other things that you found on him. If you'd like me to document those as well.
Yeah.
So before you do like Comprehend Languages, love it by the way. We love Comprehend Languages. Great spell. He has a couple of things on him that you pick up. One is a small inch cube of brimstone, which seems to be generating heat within a 15-foot radius. I'd say this. You're arcane proficient, right? You're fairly intelligent. Yep. This is relatively common enough. It's called a thermal cube. It's relatively common, but it literally keeps the temperature in a 15-foot radius at a range of about 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. So you find 1 times thermal cube.
Mm-hmm. I need to translate that to Fahrenheit.
Quite hot. It's like normal temperature.
Yeah. So what was the temperature range?
30 to 35 Celsius. So about 95 Fahrenheit ish.
86 to 95. That's like a summer day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a summer day. Like I say, the area around here is a bit cooler than that. You are in the middle of spring, so this is like noticeably quite warm. Like it's not. It doesn't really take very much to guide your hand towards it. And aside from that, all that you really what you do find on his like non-singed hand, there's a small brass ring with a green gemstone in it. You would reckon it's not worth very much, but it's like a sentimental thing, possibly. Probably like 5 GP ring if you wish to pilfer it, you are welcome to.
I don't think Eric would.
No, that's fair. That's very fair. You take the thermal cube.
Yeah, he'll take the funny cube.
Yeah. You add 1 thermal cube. I think I might be able to just straight up. I might be able to search it. No, maybe not. I might need to just like grab the description and chuck it. And I'm going to chuck it under magic items actually. It's a very, very basic magic item, and it doesn't require any attunement or anything. But it's a nifty little thing. So
cube of warm.
It's literally a cube of warm. Yeah.
It helps if we go somewhere cold.
Exactly. Plus, it keeps you warm in your camp. You know. There you go. Thermal cube.
Wondrous item.
Now we have to sleep within 15 feet of each other.
Or someone's designated as cold.
For bonding.
Okay, it's my time tonight with the thermal cube.
I can't. Scrap to always be up next to the thermal cube fireplace.
Yeah, you didn't know. Okay.
We now not only have watch rotation, but also thermal cube rotation.
In terms of the comprehend languages, I would say this: you don't know the so you touch the surface of it and you study it. You don't necessarily know what language it is written in, but essentially, to kind of summarize the content of the book, I'd say it's a 10-minute ritual and you spend some time feeling over the contents of the book. You're probably sat there for maybe 10 minutes. It seems to be a detailed kind of log. It's written in kind of a log kind of format, and it kind of details this Dwergar's journey from the Underdark to the surface and his observations along the way. Doesn't really mention exactly where in the Underdark he came from, just that he kind of came from the mouth of a I think hang on, give me just a history check real quick, or a nature check to figure out how much you know about Crypt Garden.
17 on history.
Okay, on the history, you're familiar with in Crypt Garden Forest there is a there is an entrance to the Underdark known as the Orifice. It's located somewhere deeper in the kind of more blood red parts of the forest, and it leads to the Underdark. So it seems like this guy's kind of journey is going up through there, around basically encounters that he had along the way. It mentions about him talking to a sort of a set of guards posted around the entrance to the Underdark, and then more importantly, and probably more relevant to you, is it mentions a number of observations and experimentations, seemingly with what he calls this he mentioned something called the fragment, and he basically mentions about his kind of basically effects on the kind of local fauna, and then the outcomes of opening a portal to the Feywilds. However, it then kind of seems to get cut off abruptly, and you do notice some amount of mud and blood stains on it. Presumably he was writing his observations and got mauled, basically, as something came through. You can presume from the injuries, likely that the Displacer Beast tore him to shreds, pretty much. If you wish, I don't know who has the other journal.
Tara has the other journal.
Okay. What was the passage that he came through called again?
What did you say? Sorry.
The Orifice.
The Orifice.
The Orifice. Yeah, the entrance to the Underdark is called the Orifice. And as I say, he mentions there is a some kind of security type detail of what are they called? Fucking drow that he had to go past. It does, as I say, it reads a lot more like an experimentation stroke field report type thing.
Yeah.
It's written. It's you just get the feel from the text. It's very formal and very particular. But yeah,
which is probably something he's very used to reading.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely you would have to guess this Dwergar is somewhere among definitely an academic writing some kind of academic type study. Doesn't really mention any particulars of employers or affiliations apart from that. It's very matter of fact in how it's stated, really, and very particular about
Can I read the language on the crystal shard?
Oh,
the purple gemstone.
Absolutely, I love that idea. Yeah. You so there is you did recognize there were very small scratchings on the gemstone, and I think you probably basically to the point where you rub a thumb on it and you just feel the text, almost like Braille, I guess. And what the shard itself has on it is the word conduit sample number 14. Yeah, that covers your kind of. I'd say, as for the gemstone itself, you don't get a hell of a lot of information about it, really. You just know it seems to be part of a larger whole, and that it seems to be some kind of sample of something. That's the impression that you get.
Yeah, I imagine this is going to take a fair bit of time for all the investigation, the reading, and all that kind of stuff. So he's probably doing that while other people are.
I see you're probably sat there doing that for like the best part of like half an hour ish, most likely. Yeah. You are obviously in focus mode. So what does everybody else do? Yes.
What's the blink dog doing?
I think the blink dog's just kind of following you around. To be honest.
And I play fetch with the blink dog.
What do you toss? What do you toss?
I don't know. The rest of the ration, probably. I don't have much in mine.
Okay.
Maybe I can use my sling. I'll need, like sling some rocks.
You like sling some. You find like a stick and you like slingshot a stick. Yeah. I would say you would like the blink dog watches you curiously as you do this, and then realizes that you want it to do something in response, and you watch as this blink dog teleports to catch the stick, and then brings it back.
I'll be very enthusiastic about it. Does it respond?
The dog just kind of like I would say the blink dog. I think I have a picture of the blink dog in session text, don't I? I think yeah. You watch it. Its tail wags. Its tail wags. Seems to be enjoying itself.
A feed of the rest of the ration is approval.
It gobbles it down immediately. Yeah, it's pretty happy about that.
Excellent.
You're just playing and you're strengthening your bond with the blink dog. Maybe
yes.
Maybe I should like. Do you think I should like just straight up give you the blink dog like? Do you think I should like add it under the party and like give you the fucking sheet?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems fair. Right. Here you go. There's the blink dog. You can all see it.
Yeah.
Just when you come to fight blink dogs, just well, I guess actually you got a good idea of their HP and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know what they do, so I guess I'm not that worried about you knowing their AC or HP really. Plus, not all blink dogs are built the same, so. You know.
What's this one looking like? Is he like the runt of the litter, or?
I'd say a bit smaller than the other two that you fought, but like I would say none of them are. I would say like blink dogs are naturally just quite muscly kind of dogs. Like I would say a blink dog reminds me a little bit of like maybe like a Staffy or something like that to some extent, like Staffordshire Terrier. Like it's like a bit more kind of. It's like a dog if a dog had like muscles, you know, and it can teleport and it's got incredibly sharp teeth. But other than that, like I mean, okay. Anyone Arcana proficient? Want to see how much you know about blink dogs?
I think
I will allow it.
Ulrich and I are, aren't I?
Yeah,
I'd imagine Ulrich's preoccupied.
Fair, I'll do it then.
Preoccupied, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like by now he's like he's probably like used to Terrarian is like now sort of like spotting the other bond.
Yeah.
And wants to help. 19.
So that's a really good roll. So by your understanding, blink dogs are they originate from they are a type of fae. They originate from the Feywilds. Though obviously, like Splacer Beasts, there are like actual rifts between the two places. So it's not unlikely that you'll ever see a blink dog ever, right? But they have the ability. They have like an inherent ability to blink in and out of existence and teleport like innately. They are like actually fairly intelligent. Like they are like innately quite intelligent. They have an intelligence of 10. Like they don't speak, but they are pretty, it's pretty much like average human intelligence. They're quite smart. And they
Actually, it's better than average for like nowadays, or in terms of the setting.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they were ultimately, my understanding is like they were used by the Fae as like hunting dogs to some extent. Like they have some history of, they are somewhat like domesticated, and they are used for like hunting purposes. Like a bit, I guess, a bit like a hunting dog today, I guess, to some extent. Especially, you know that especially they were sent to hunt displacer beasts, so they have like a natural, like a kind of a natural like rivalry between the two. You suspect that the blink dogs that came across you perhaps attacked out of fear or hunger or desperation, but they were also here to rip that displacer beast to shreds, or at least try to. You suspect that the displacer beast would have won, but
yeah,
it's like it's a pack animal at the end of the day to some extent. But yeah, and as such, with the kind of intelligence and stuff, although they only speak Sylvan, they only really understand Sylvan. They can understand Scraps because Scraps is literally using speak with animals to talk. Like, you know, like you are legitimately speaking like with animals on them, right? Like
yes, I'm using that spell, but I don't know if it's run out now.
It's like an hour, isn't it? Or like it's like all day, isn't it? Speak with animals or something. It's like, unless you, I think it's like end constant. It's like concentration. I can't remember. It's 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and it's a ritual. So I guess you can't do it as a ritual.
Oh, I can only cast it once because it's my favorite.
It's 10 minutes. I would say that probably as 10 minutes go, you stop being able to understand it, but it seems to respond to like physical movements and stuff. It is a dog, you know, like to some extent.
Scorpia?
Yes.
I just realised I speak blink dog.
You speak.
What?
Do you mean you speak? Do you mean you speak Sylvan?
Yes.
You speak Sylvan.
Okay, you do speak Sylvan. Yeah, you have the ability to communicate with this dog on a level that it will understand. It cannot respond to you. You cannot speak. I need to point out that Blink Dog is also its own language. It does speak Blink Dog. I don't think
like
you
speak region of Sylvan.
I assume they've been trained in Sylvan the same way how we train dogs in human, you know?
You reckon you're dead on the money there, Journey. You reckon you're dead on the money. Exactly like that, yeah. It cannot speak Sylvan. It can, however, speak Blink Dog, which is the language that Scraps was communicating in to it. It was like Scraps.
What does it sound like?
You know what it sounds like? Barking. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like.
Yeah, instead of meowing, I'm just barking at like the dog.
You know, it's just a matter. You just like literally, it's like, do you even actually speak animal, or are you just barking at the dog? Like, who knows?
You cannot tell.
You literally cannot tell. Who fucking knows? Seems like the animals respond to it though, so you know. Either you've got a natural way of animals, or you are actually speaking to them. Who knows? As I say, the Blink Dog honestly seems relatively relaxed in its body language, and it seems like it is willing to follow you around.
Can I walk up to the Blink Dog?
You can absolutely walk up to the Blink Dog.
I just say to it, want to play a game? And I'll pull out a ration, and I'll pull out my lucky coin.
Yeah.
And I'll say, if you catch this coin, I'll give you this.
Oh my god!
I think the dog stares at you, interested that you are speaking Sylvan. Most likely, it recognizes. Its ears prick up when you start speaking Sylvan, and it watches the coin intently.
I'll chuck it.
It jumps up in the air to attempt to grab it, and the coin disappears in the air in front of it.
Hey, don't play around with him.
So I just had to test something out, you know, just take some curiosity.
I think the Blink Dog's ears lower and just kind of goes like.
They do that thing where they run off thinking the object was thrown.
Yeah. I think the thing is, like, given that it has 10 intelligence, I'm almost imagining it watched that coin disappear. Like, it's got keen vision, keen senses. It watched that coin disappear in front of it, and it's like, I wouldn't say it's even confused because it teleports. It can teleport. It's familiar with the concept of things disappearing, but I think it does look at you and tilt its head like what? you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like literally, like what?
Well, that cheered me up after getting mauled and ripped apart by a displacer beast.
Yeah, I would say this. Admittedly, like all of you, like you especially, because you did get ripped into. You feel great after the tree was healed. It's like it healed your own wounds to some extent. Like you do feel like all of you noticeably feel like stronger to some extent. Like, you know, that characterized by you gaining a level, right? But you do feel it. I was also going to say, you know, at some point, you can. At some point, if any of you ever get a 5th level spell, you could make it so that this dog could speak common as a thing.
That's incredible.
It already has.
I wonder what it'll be.
It already has 10 intelligence. It already has 10 intelligence. Where you could create Blink Dog Scooby Doo. You know, I'm not.
Oh yes. This is now my mission.
I'm not necessarily saying that I can do a Scooby Doo impression, but I can do a Scooby Doo impression, and I will do it if it happens.
Oh God.
The DM's behind this.
Oh no.
Raps? Really? Oh no. What have you done?
That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the new whole campaign goal. This has to happen.
All this and more is available if you get 5th level spells and 1,000 gold. You know, it's very possible. It's very doable.
It's going to take a lot of effort to convince me to waste 1,000 gold on the 5th level spell slot. That could be, I don't know, it could be a lot of things.
But how many
do impressions?
How many wizards can say they have a talking dog? Probably quite a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, probably quite a lot.
Numerous.
I'm just gonna make a note in my notes, by the way, of session 4. The blink dog follows them now. The blink dog could theoretically learn how to talk in common.
Well, I guess what else is? I was just thinking about what else is the blink dog gonna do? I don't think it can get home, right?
Not really. No,
no. I promised him a way back. You know, I still hope
he's kind of stuck.
There are other entrances to the Feywild, but they are like by your understanding, there are other entrances, but they are also heavily restricted and guarded by the Fey. You know, this is whatever the fuck this portal was is completely unsanctioned by anybody. Yeah, that's very much your impression. You know, and it seems different to somebody just straight up casting a plane shift, for example. You know, you're low enough level, but you're aware that people have crossed planes. Those who are Arcana aware, you know that people walk planes. People do that, but you're not very familiar with how it works, and this doesn't seem like that. Whatever it is.
New objective: rescue dog.
I mean, or you just make the dog like you enough that it doesn't want to leave. I mean,
we'll see. It's up to Scraps, I feel, at this point.
Yes. Emotional minute of this campaign when the dog has to leave. Let's prepare for that.
Get the dog back to the Feywilds.
This is like E.T. but with blink dogs.
It's like E.T. except you can literally speak his language for a bit a day if you want to. And he's a dog.
He does I don't think people are going to be running us down in the street if if we walk around with the blink dog.
Honestly, I suspect that I suspect people would look at you weird, but if you've got like a leash or whatever, like I don't know, like it's not like you're bringing an owl bear or a displacer beast into the middle of a town, right?
Yeah.
But it depends. Like
they're still fundamentally dogs, so like people are like, oh, all right, sure.
It's a weird dog. It's a weird dog.
Yeah.
But if you're in like a village, right, and somebody sees it, they might be like, "What the fuck is that?" Right? You go into the middle of a city though, everyone's just like, "Have they got a blink dog on a lead?"
Yeah.
I'm not going to put on a lead. The hell?
I mean,
it's blinking away. You can't really be put on a lead.
I was going to say that would be very pointless. Yeah. A blink dog is only going to be on a lead if it wants to be on a lead, right? Like that's you know, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Do we maybe get a collar with like our details on it?
Let's get him chipped.
We are going to get the dog chips. Yes.
Oh no, it's not so much chipped as it's a magical item that just like connects with one of us, so it can teleport to us if it gets lost.
No, we're planning too far ahead. We should wait. I don't have a coin to my name.
If you find this dog, cast this teleportation spell.
I was going to say, do you guys have a name for the blink dog?
Log, right?
Log?
Yeah. Blog.
No, blog, right.
Blog the blink dog. There we go. Fucking hell. There we go. Blog the blink dog is now a member of your party. I mean, to be fair, not a bad little companion to have. You guys are stacking up on the fucking companions. I'm impressed. Anyway,
is that displacer beast like body still here?
Yeah.
I want to take a closer look at it because it was wounded already before we fought it.
Absolutely. You would let's say it is nearby to where you are. If you'd like to give me like a medicine check, perhaps have a look, just to examine it, or maybe even perception. It's probably got big enough wounds; you might be able to tell. But...
Okay.
I would say that you take a look over the body. You notice there are some parts of the fur which are like singed. You suspect that it may have been hit with a spell at some point. And you also notice like a number of bite marks and like an attempted like kind of like stab wound on it. You suspect that if you were to construct the scene in front of you, you would have to suspect that the Dwergar perhaps managed to get a spell off before he died. And perhaps the blink dogs did chase it up a tree to some extent. Like it definitely had, like I say, it walked with a bit of a limp and it was a bit injured. It wasn't like massively injured though. You suspect that it was like, you know, it was a little bit it wasn't as strong as it could have been, but it was still a pretty tough foe for you to fight, considering the hits that it took before it went down. Like it was a pretty hardy beast.
All right.
I was going to say, flicking over for a moment. How's Terra doing, Dozing? Dozing?
Oh, they just sent me a message saying their CPU crashed.
Okay, Terra's dead. Okay.
They've gone wandering in the forest. We should go look for her.
A CPU crash, just like actually a robot just shut down. We're actually in like some weird fucking Truman Show D&D game.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Terra is being mauled by another blink dog.
Like, just got hit by an EMP. Okay. I guess we can flick back to Terra when Dozing returns. I would say that you basically finished studying the contents of that book, Ulrich.
So did the like massive bulge of magic disappear or something?
It basically as I say, it basically like it's a bit like somebody like froze a cyst and it fell off, hit the ground, and like just kind of dissipated into like dust, pretty much. Like,
Cool.
I would say as a result, you notice like as I say like. I would say, like, right, obviously the picture of this right now is probably a bit inaccurate in that there isn't really, like, a sickly blue hue to the place anymore. It looks a bit more like a regular patch of forest. Like, if a little bit more magical than the rest, but still. Like, the tree looks healthy, relatively speaking. Like, aside from the giant burn mark in the kind of alcove of it, it seems okay.
Okay. What about the hole in the tree? Is it filled in, or?
It's not. That's like the one thing that remained is that there is still that hole in the tree, and it still has singe marks on it. It's still burnt.
Try and go in there.
Yeah, you like climb up into it. You feel the edges of it. It's solid. It kind of lets off a bit of kind of black kind of gunk on your hand, like somewhere between ash and maybe something a bit muddy or something like that, you would say. But you probably just wipe it off on the tree, to be honest, or you just keep it on you knowing scraps.
It's shallow, not like a passage somewhere.
Say that again. Sorry, say it again.
Is it like shallow, or is there a passage? Is it like a? Does it lead somewhere?
It is shallow. Yeah, it's shallow.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You don't really understand what this is compared to everybody else, I would say. This looks like
I don't understand. Yes,
it looks.
I don't understand anything.
I would say that you notice that your blink dog like sniffs at it, tries to walk through it, and just it doesn't do anything. So make of that of what you will. Also, welcome back, Dozing.
Oh my God, welcome back, Dozing.
Hi.
Sorry.
So out of character, sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think I know what happened here.
Yeah. If you want to out of character talk about it, go ahead. That's fine.
I think he like teleported here, right? And then the blink dogs came with him.
What, this dude?
Yeah, they created like that one.
The Drow came up from the Underdark and he used the purple crystal, I think, to open. So what it does is it's connected to the Feywild, and you can use it to. It's part of a bigger whole, so maybe you need the larger crystal, maybe just a small piece works. But you can use it to create a portal to the Feywild. When he opened this portal, it just ate him.
Yeah. But...
the Displacer Beast came through and ate him, and the Blink Dogs probably came through after the Displacer Beast.
It pretty much is what you would expect. Yeah. Like. Yeah. You're pretty certain, like looking at the hole, that something wrenched its way through there, and this guy got fucking torn to shreds by a Displacer Beast. You're like 99% sure that's what happened.
I turned, hearing that, I turned to Scraps. Like you talked to the beast for a moment, right? What did it say?
It says it's lost here and it wants to go home.
With it, hearing this, Eric's probably done with. Thinking. He's probably just sat. He probably got up, and he's probably going to make his way over to the alcove where you are, and he's probably going to lightly press the crystal into the tree in the alcove, and see what happens.
You decide to experiment with this. You pull out the small swirling crystal shard. You press it against the kind of blackened, kind of ash, kind of almost like sludge in the middle of the tree. You feel like a small, like a whimper of energy from this thing, but nothing happens. You do feel like the crystal feels like it reacts, but it just feels like if you had to guess, this knowing magic as you do, this is some kind of catalyst that is out of juice, most likely. It is relatively small, and it is you're surprised that something this small could really create a rift between planes, really, but you just don't really know what this thing is, this shard. You've never seen a rock like this before.
Well, he'll probably try that and like feel it and just look back at scraps and just be like, well, this is all out of whatever it used to get us here. So, unless it's either find another one or find an alternate method. And I think these things, and he'll kind of like shaking his hand, come from the Underdark. So unless we want a long and horrible trip, I don't know when we're getting another one.
I look at the dog and I will be like, "Are you okay coming with us?" I like gesture, I guess.
I think the dog kind of bows to you and seems to be kind of gets closer up to your leg. It seems like it's willing to follow you.
All right, cool.
I was going to say before you crash dozing, I was just asking how's Terra doing?
They're off in the woods.
Yeah,
pretty much. And they're doing their own thing. In the around 30 minutes it has been, and assume nobody in that time has like actually actively gone out to look for Terra. Terra's gonna try to find some mud.
Try and find some mud. There's plenty of mud. You find some mud.
Yeah. Terra's gonna try to find some mud, and they're gonna think back to the days in the caravan, and especially, let me pull up the list.
Yep.
Jade had a calming technique, which their clan used, which was essentially a mud bath. Okay. And Terra was all very much against it, but they're going to go and essentially do that to try to calm themselves down and kind of recenter themselves.
You find a giant puddle of mud, try and heat it up, and like take a little mud bath, basically.
I mean, not even heat it up. They're just gonna splash mud on their face and just like
you
calm themselves down. Yeah.
I would say that there is the mud is pretty cool to the touch, and it seems to at the very least wake you up a bit. It gets into your scales, and you kind of wipe it off. I mean, how much calmer you feel is up to you, really. Do you think it helps, Terra?
Mm-hmm. And I think essentially something else that they had on them is that they had a drawing of their group. They're going to get it painted on their caravan whenever they had the means to. So essentially what they're going to be doing is leaning up against a tree near the same area where they were, still dirty to the nines, and just looking at the picture and singing some dwarven lullabies.
So you're still just kind of out in the forest doing this, pretty much?
Yeah, Terra is going to be out there for a bit unless somebody does something.
I would say this. You hear the sound of something approaching you, and you hear somewhat light footsteps as you do. You're pretty perceptive, right? Well, you got like 13 actually, haven't you?
13, which is like the highest of everybody, but yeah.
Yeah. I would say this. You recognize the person in front of you. Like the kind of approach. You see Alara. You see Alara, the druid, approach. She seems to she seems to kind of acknowledge you as she approaches. You know, she's kind of on either side. There are a couple of druids with her as well.
I think Terra didn't get up. They are still sat down, and like they see Alara, they see the druids, they stop singing, carefully fold up the picture, put it in their journal again. I think stand up.
Yeah.
Wipe their legs, cast prestidigitation, get rid of the mud.
Clean themselves off, yeah. I think Alara takes a look at you, approaching, just kind of like trying to find solace in nature, my friend?
More like trying to find solace, period. I came through, find my family, and through that I came to a bunch of strangers into a tree, a mystical grove that is centuries older than time itself, apparently. And then we kill a scab, and it shows me what I truly desire. I don't think this is what I wanted. I wanted answers when I came here. I wanted to find my family, not more questions.
Well?
And instead, I find the wind throwing me in all directions.
I think Alara gives you a little smile and approaches a little bit closer, just like, well, I apologize that that nature does not always give answers in a particularly clear way, but if it offers you any solace, we owe you a great deal of thanks. Take a little look around yourself and realize what you've done between the lot of you. Perhaps you've not got your answers yet, but I think that good deeds will be rewarded by good rewards.
They sigh and just kind of walk off a little, looking around, and just shake their head to themselves and say, yes, I understand. A true act of kindness always besets another. It is a virtue that I live by.
Perhaps the answers that you seek might be better sought as a group. The rest of your companions, are they still at the Grove?
I'm not sure. I left as soon as the vision took me. It was not something I could handle with them.
I understand. Well?
I do not intend on abandoning them. This is not something that I am fond of.
You do not seem the type, no. Well, if you will, would you accompany me to the Grove? Could you the protection? And I owe your friends a great deal of thanks as well.
Yes, I would be fine with that. But, my rapier. I may have dropped it.
It's fine. We shall find it on the way. She,
Okay.
I think Alara kind of offers like an arm. If you would like to, like almost like you know, like if like an old lady, like a bit like an old lady, like you know, you want to like an old lady strange, like do you want to help me cross the street, like kind of like link arms sort of thing.
I think Tara is going to smile and they're going to perk up a bit, and they're going to kind of play into it.
Yeah.
Going to do like a little bow, a little playful kind of bow. And take the arm and walk with Allura, and they're going to start singing once more. But not a lullaby, but a dwarvish celebration song. Something that is a little more cheerful and uppy.
I think Alara seems happy with your company and enjoys the song. And I would say, between the two of you, you're not that far. You didn't really run so far away from the Grove, but you did spend a bit of time by yourself. You eventually link up, and you've come across I think you probably do come across the midst of the rest of the party, like experimenting with the tree, at the very least, like trying to utilize this crystal or seeing what it does. And I guess the rest of you notice. You see Alara. You see Terra, and you see they're kind of flanked by a couple of kind of druids who seem to be watching out for them both, pretty much. I think Alara kind of gives a small bow and unlinks her arms of you, and then kind of gestures you back towards, kind of gather, I guess, to some extent. she does seem to take in the sight of the tree as well. She seems to be looking fairly intently at it, and you see almost like a tear form in her eye as she looks at it, and just a big smile, pretty much. She takes a moment, and I guess the rest of you get the chance to reconvene, I guess.
Yoink.
Are you alright? Like, I guess I'll probably find the rapier if you throw it on the ground.
It's
was on the ground.
It's just on the ground, yeah. So.
Yeah, Tara's just gonna go pick it up and then resheath it. And you go up to Journey, just pat them on the shoulder and say, "I'm doing fine."
Wait, Journey or Scraps? I can't remember who asked.
It was Journey. Journey asked.
Okay.
No, I asked, but it's fine.
Oh, Scraps. This is Scraps. Just go Scraps.
Yeah.
She's gonna. Yeah, I am fine, Scraps. Thank you for asking. Pat on the shoulder, rub on the head. Scruff the hair up a bit.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess I'll show Tara a new trick that I taught the Blink Dog, which is to, the fetch.
Blink fetch.
Blink fetch. You witness a stick being tossed, a blink dog teleporting to catch it, and then bringing it back.
I think Tara is gonna have that face like. The only thing that I can describe is like a mother when they hear their child wants like a snake as a pet. That kind of like awkward happiness.
Oh, great! Yeah.
They like.
You can have a pet tarantula, honey. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, very, very much that. And Tara's just kind of look at Scraps and just say, "Well, that is great. I am glad we have a blink dog now."
I would say that you notice that one of the druids is carrying like a small kind of like weaved basket of stuff, and I think at this point Alara probably turns to you all, and there seems to be a measure of pride in her selection of adventurers to some extent, and she simply says, "Thank you. I did not expect this tree to still be standing today, but it seems like you've achieved a miracle. I don't feel the same kind of pain on the land anymore, although I can't help but notice the scorch marks on the side. Any ideas? Is that you? I shall not be offended if it were. It seems like...
That was there when he came here. We didn't do that.
Yeah, I think it's, Eric probably, he'll probably he'll say that, I think it was well, I've got a lot of thoughts about this, and it's, I guess I've just got a question of, how much do you know about this tree?
She's like, well, it has always been here since I was a babe. It was there before then. It has...
Do you know if
is
it similar to any other trees in the area, or is it very different and unique, and it's like, I don't know.
It is older and larger than the grand majority of trees in the forest, but I don't believe there's anything inherently magical about it, if that's what you mean. Other than it being a big, beautiful tree, of course. It is a sign of Sylvanus' blessing, but aside from that, it is a tree.
Yeah, then I don't really know what caused it, but seems the Drugar here was experimenting with something, and whatever it is causes, the magical damage we saw, but also I think it creates portals to the Feywild. And with what he had, I have no idea how it would create a portal, unless maybe this tree itself has some connection to the Feywild.
She looks at the dead displacer beast by the side, and it's just like, well, that does make a lot of sense. Portal to the Feywild. You know, these forests used to have some connections to the Fey, but I suppose most forests in Faerun do. I do not believe there's any reason that this tree would be any more special than any other tree, but perhaps it is just the sheer size of it. I do not know. I do not know.
Is there still a hole in the tree?
Yeah. There's like I'd say, it's like a shallow indentation in it that seems to have grown larger as something stepped through it. Basically, pretty much.
Tara is gonna just observe it and look through it and put their arm in it.
As I say, there's not very much lingering feeling here, but there is like a weird kind of ashy sludge all over it. And you say, Laura's like, so you say that the Dwergar did this?
Yeah, it was, he'll pull out the crystal that he's either still holding or he's put in like a backpack. It's like, seems to be a sample of something. It I'm not sure how it operates, but I feel like its primary purpose is for transport between planes. He came up from the Underdark, long journey, so don't know if it's a crystal that's down there, if it's a one-off, I have no idea, but it seems that this is what caused the issues. Although it's all out of power now, it isn't not going to cause any more harm.
She approaches, she's very curious about this. Somewhat worried, but also more curious than anything. She's just like, can I have a look at that rock, please?
As long as you don't break it, I'll pass it over.
She picks it, she takes it in her hand, she's like, I'm not sure I could break this if I wanted to. She takes a look at it and kind of watches the weird kind of swirling colours inside of it. And feels it in her hand. She's like, it's a beautiful little thing, isn't it? But very strange. She passes it back to you and she's like, I could not tell you what this is. I could tell you it's not from Crypt Garden. And she thinks for a moment and she's like, well, perhaps a member of our circle is of the Drow and formerly of the Underdark. Perhaps they might be able to identify this if it comes from there. I can introduce you if you would like. As a matter of fact, sorry, go
I'd
ahead.
be interested to know where it comes from at the very least.
She smiles like, yes, I can imagine you do. If you would like, well, I shall be honest. This she kind of points at the tree. She's like, saving this tree kind of goes above and beyond what I expected, and I am deeply appreciative. Crypt Garden itself is happy to have you. I do have. She points towards the basket like, I have a reward, but if you would stay with us a little longer, perhaps I could introduce you to the drow within our circle, and also we could fully show our appreciation to you all, if that would be acceptable. Unless obviously you have places to be.
I've got nowhere urgent.
We would be more than happy to come and celebrate.
Well, it is settled then. But
Do you have any dog food?
she does sit down, notice the blink dog that was like standing by her side, and she's like, I must admit, I'm not sure what a creature like that would eat, but we do not have.
He likes rations with salted whatever. I don't really know what this
I
is.
think knowing because I did the Arcana last time, Ulrich will probably just point at the display of beast and be like, that normally as well.
Well, that's
Tara's...
that is.
Yeah, meat.
She's like, well, given that our circle is comprised of vegetarians, I suspect the meat aspect might be something that you'll have to deal with. But if I may suggest, perhaps you could take a hunk out of that beast.
On it. I'm going over.
She's like, she just looks. She looks away from you. She's like, I don't want to look
In the
at
hive, get some Displacer Beast Uggs while you're at it.
I think she kind of gestures to one of her druids to bring over this basket and just ignores you fucking butchering this thing. And she pulls out a few things. So here's a reward for you all, okay? So you notice 6 freshly brewed potions of healing.
Yay!
There is a number of pouches. Probably, I think there is probably 6 separate pouches as well. I think they probably would have planned ahead and actually divvied this out, I guess. Basically, 6 pouches of 70 GP each. And there's one last thing, which she pulls out, and it's like a small... It seems to be a rather precious-looking piece of jewellery. It's a small gold circlet with gems encrusted upon it. And she kind of looks, I think would probably look to Terra and says, well, it might suit you, but if not, it is worth some amount of money, I'm reliably informed.
It is very pretty. And Terra's going to take it and just hold it up. Basically...
It's pretty damn nice. It's pretty nice. It's pretty big as well. You reckon you could fit it on your head? It's not like teeny tiny.
Designed for the druid with the fattest head.
Dragonborn, to be fair, Dragonborns do have like larger heads than most people. Like that is just true. But yeah, and then as I say, she bows and she's like, now I realize that material possessions are one thing, but yes, we would like to hold a ceremony in your name if you would be willing. We would.
Thank you.
Sorry, so go ahead.
No. You go on.
She's like, we would have you and make you honorary members of the circle, and Crypt Garden itself would consider you one of its protectors. Will not necessarily rely anything extra from you, but at the very least, it might grant some, how we say, benefits, I suppose.
We're gonna run for office, right? This is gonna be hard.
You'd have run for our office as like an anarcho-primitivist. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you go to Waterdeep and say I'm the protector of the forest. They're like, right, have a desk job. I don't think that's the kind of resume they're looking for. Really.
That being said, Journey, protector of Crypt Garden sounds really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
The eyes light up.
Titles are always a nice thing to be awarded, no matter who they're from.
They're just handy things to have, basically, because you can tell people those, and they, in theory, some people will know what they are.
Exactly.
Hopefully, when I'm like 8th level, I'll have 10 titles.
Then when you get announced into a room, it takes like 15 minutes as they list off every title.
Hopefully by then, we'll have a little blink dog speaking common to announce it for us.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Protector of the Garden Forest.
Fuck's sake.
I think speaking of the blink dog, Terra, like in midst of this, is going to turn to Scraps and say, "Did you give my ration that they gave to you to eat to the blink dog?"
Yeah.
They're just gonna sigh and shake their head just one more time and just go into their bag, rustle around for it, and pull out one more ration, hand it over to Scraps, and before they let go, and they're going to say, This is for you to eat, not the dog.
Vigorously shakes my head.
You're gonna let go, is keeping eye contact and nodding.
I would say, Scraps, you've probably got like arms coated in blood, and you have like a hunk of Displacer Beast meat as well.
I was already eating that. That's how I guess you caught me. What the?
There is just blood around your mouth as you're eating raw meat from another plane.
Oh no, Scraps.
Tara is just gonna look disapprovingly and just try to grab the meat out of their hand.
I
had to taste it first.
It tastes a bit weird. I don't know how cat would taste. Probably not great. Like, don't know. Probably some. To be fair, it's probably it's such a big animal. You probably just eat like very sloppily, but like like very messily, I guess. But like you fucking just tore a chunk of meat off of this thing, pretty much. Like. It looks edible. Probably not raw, but it looks edible.
They don't have any meat. I'll be complaining when Tara takes my like hunk of flesh.
It is fine. I will keep it for you in a safe area where you do not eat it.
But I want to eat it.
You can eat it once it's cooked.
I pout.
It is okay, Scraps. You're going to be fine. It's going to pat him on the head once more. Tara actually also wants to take something from the Displacer Beast. They want to take one of their fangs.
Oh, absolutely. I think I would allow that. There is also, I will say this about Displacer Beasts. On their back, they have these like paddles, and those paddles have like a number of like sharp spines on them as well. Like, you know. So if you fancy picking some of those off, you can. You don't really know.
Could I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I would allow you to like. I would say this. The spines on the paddle are probably easier to remove than the teeth from the skull. But so I would say that you probably collect like a number of spines, maybe like, I don't know, like 10 or something. You managed to pull out, individually. And Dozing, I'd like you to give me a strength check to just like yank the fang.
Oh, no.
Honestly, like I'm gonna say this, like you probably use your rapier to help to some extent. It takes a while to yank this out, I would say. But
I think after 5 minutes, Tara would just look over who looks the most strongest.
Journey.
No, I'll push my chest out and pretend.
Ray.
You know that it's Journey.
Whilst Tara's doing this, I would like to open the ration and feed a little bit.
I'm gonna.
No, Vlog's gonna get fat.
Fucking hell.
Tara's gonna call Ray over since they want to appease to their ego, and they're also closer. And they're going to say, Ray, can you help me get the fang out?
Gladly, and I'll yank.
Advantage on your strength check here.
Why do I get advantage?
Well, no,
I'm helping you.
There is two of you yanking this out. After a while, you manage to just loose this tooth from it. Yes.
See? Wasn't so hard, was it? And I'll toss it to Tara and continue to collect my spines.
Honestly, I would say this.
Just gonna look unimpressed.
There is nothing inherently magical about this fang. It just looks like the fang of a very large cat. Really.
Yeah, it's about the story.
Exactly. Similarly with the spines, you don't think there's anything inherently magical about the spines. They are just like a thing that it's pretty much just thorns off of their body, I guess. Like,
yeah, but I just want to displace the beast caltrops.
I mean, yeah. So I think you get like a collection of 10 of those little spines, basically. And then, as you say, okay, we will add 10 Displacer Beast spines. I should probably say fawns, maybe not spines. Spines would suggest you've got like a whole spine. and then one displacer beast fang. It's pretty large. As I say, this is like it's like a really big cat. You know what I mean? Like these have sharp fangs as well. But you suspect that the displacement is really in the hide, but you think you would really need a survivalist to attempt to remove the hide of a creature, to be honest. Ripping out fangs is inherently easier than skinning an animal, as far as you could tell. I
do have -1 survival, so
you would fuck up any attempt. I will say this.
I have +3 survival.
Are you proficient in survival?
No, I'm just good at surviving.
I'm my full displacement here is I would imagine like if somebody had a background as like a woodsman like they would probably have like a better chance on this, but this is not like any animal you've ever skinned, and it's huge.
Yeah, so you almost need practice at skinning to be able to like apply the skills to something this unique.
Tara has never skinned anything in their life.
Exactly.
I've skinned stuff.
You probably have, but you suspect that, like, I would if you had survival like proficiency, I'd allow you to attempt it. But
I do have survival proficiency, I think.
Yeah. If you could get like a decently, I think you would probably also need like a decent blade to even start doing this. To be honest.
Yeah, no.
And I do need to point out that displacer beasts are large creatures. This move, like if you were trying to move this thing around to skin it, it probably weighs like I don't know, like how much do you think a displacer beast weighs? Like fucking like a ton, probably like 500 pounds ish, pretty much like 230 kilograms. This thing would be, it'd be massive. So you would need somebody relatively strong to even help to do that.
Funnily enough, I'm like strong and proficient in survival, but I'm for sure like not this type of survival.
No. This is like you potentially have the skill set for this, but you've probably never skinned an animal, nor do you really wish to. But
yes,
then again,
you hit it on the nail there.
But then again, your family background, I'm just saying. It could make a
They for sure haven't taught me shit, so...
No. I mean, what I mean is, it would make a very interesting coat, Like, potentially...
That is true. That is true. Somehow that doesn't go through my mind, but true.
Does not appeal.
No. If the skin was sold separately, I would think about it.
Yeah, if somebody else did the nasty bit, you'd be all right with it. But I think that Alara probably left you to your own devices, but basically like said that you could return to the camp that you came from as well.
I do think that like after Tara pulled out the fang, kind of like observant, looking pleasing. They put it away. Just glance over to Scraps feeding the ration to the dog, and just say, "Stop feeding the dog!"
Immediately, stop feeding the dog. But he looks so hungry.
He is not hungry. Stop feeding the dog my rations.
The dog does look a little bit full this morning.
That dog looks full.
Soften around. It's just turned round.
You just get like one of those like absolutely like fucking like potato shaped dash huns. You know what I mean? like it's absolutely chonker of a blink dog.
Mortadella dog.
Looks like a giant fucking potato. Like what have you done?
Does the Scrap stop?
Yeah, I stopped.
For now.
And I think Tara is going to kind of like get on eye level with Scraps and say, "Scraps, these are my rations and I'm giving them to you to eat. Okay? I do not want you to go hungry. I want you to eat and be very full. That blink dog can survive on its own, like it has for many years before. Okay, Scraps?
Okay.
And listen, I don't want you to go hungry. If you need food, you can always ask.
I'm fine.
I don't want you eating dangerous things and being sick.
I don't get sick that often.
Well, let's not increase those odds. Okay?
Me eyeing up a piece of raw chicken. Or to be fair, I've not had a cold in so long. I can definitely tank this. Chicken sashimi.
Oh God. So Tara is just very focused, very much eye contact. They just kind of nod to Scraps. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. If you feed that dog one more time, I'm taking your rations.
Oh my god, it's our first.
Can I get my meat back, please?
You can get it back at the Grove.
This is our first proper parent-child bollocking.
Scraps, you can get your meat back at the Grove, okay?
If you
I'll give you it back then.
Yeah, okay, Tara.
Okay. I'm just gonna pat them on the shoulder.
And watch very carefully.
And they are going to keep an eye on Scraps.
Would you please stop feeding the dog? I promise. And then you just raise your hand to give it a cracker and it just gets slapped. No.
I'll be whistling so innocently as we head back to the camp.
I've never fed a dog my rations in my life. No.
Exactly.
Well, do you take your leave of the Grove?
I mean, I don't have anything else. I do think Tara, before they leave, will go over to Uruk. And ask, can I see that stone just for a second?
You there, Bryn?
Oh.
See,
I think they're dead.
I'm muted. I muted a minute ago. I forgot.
Nah.
Yeah, so he'll probably just hand it over and just be like, yeah, just be careful with it. I'm not sure how fragile it is. And just hand it over.
Okay. They're going to just kind of fold it up and look at it. And for lack of a better word, kind of tap themselves with it. Because Tara's not super smart. They don't really get this stuff, but they know that their kind of rock, that's a living rock thing, and this is the magical rock thing.
I would also say that based on where you grew up, you probably have a decent knowledge of gemstones and rocks.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, no, they would have a pretty decent knowledge of gemstones and rocks.
You were raised by dwarves to some extent.
I was. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily. I kind of almost want to give you a feature that's just gemstone recognition or something.
Gemstone proficiency.
Yeah,
I mean that's minimum.
I mean, dwarves get rock proficiency. Dwarves can look at rock and be they know exactly where it's from. They can tell the fucking incline it's taking and shit. Dwarves are experts at rock, right?
Dwarves is when you you get double proficiency when making a check related to stonework. Is the dwarven one?
Exactly.
Oh shit.
In the older ones, it's just your incline and shit, and it's just
I mean, I wouldn't mind a buff.
Do you want to give me an advantage history check taking a look at this thing?
Sure. I mean, Tara's not super smart, but
fine. It might jog. Well, Nat 20.
Okay, sure.
I would say this. This rock, this gemstone, first thing, you tap it against yourself, you suspect this thing is ridiculously sturdy. You reckon you could like smash this thing with a hammer and it would do nothing to it. Like it seems to be of a very hardy material. The weird kind of swirling insides that move, this is not like just like a natural stone to you. This seems like a gemstone that is both like innately has some kind of magic to it, and also is not of this plane. I would say, I think you may have heard Eric consider that it may have been from the Underdark. You are like 100% sure this is not from the Underdark. You do not know where it is from, but it is not of this world to some extent. You just watch it move, and as I say, you've seen countless gemstones in your time, and you are made of gems to some extent, right? Like, you feel in every part of you that this is not from the material plane.
I think Terra, kind of after looking into it, is just gonna like toss it back to Uruk and just say, "Well, you were right about one thing. It is certainly magical in nature, but it is not from this plane."
I wonder why Drago had it then. They clearly brought it up from the Underdark, so...
It is not from the Underdark.
Well, there might be something connecting it there, or maybe it's from somewhere else and there's just... This dude had it. I don't know. There's a chance there's some more down there, considering the... It'll put gestures like the tiny writing you may have missed, and just like... Says it's sample 14 of... Conduit sample 14, so... There's at least probably 13 others, or were. So, who knows where it's the others are, but I imagine they were all originated in a similar place.
They're just gonna shrug and walk off a little bit, and they're gonna stop themselves and like, "Oh, yes, you're a wizard, right?"
Yeah.
They're gonna pull out the journal and just also toss it to Uruk and say, "I don't know what it says."
Combined languages is a while, right? Yeah, it's an hour.
An hour.
It's an hour.
So I can,
You touch it and you can read it, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, I can now get a translation work done. Didn't have to before, but I guess without a big library of people to ask, you got to do some more of the busy work yourself. So, yeah.
I would say that the you probably have a little look through the journal, you probably spend like maybe spend like another 10 minutes just flicking over it. This one reads a lot more personal and a lot more like a diary. It's quite vulgar in parts. Like the guy is very what's the word? Ungenerous about certain people, shall we say. And has a very cynical view of life, which, to your understanding, is somewhat typical of a lot of people from Dwergar cultures. He details essentially, like, basically, like, you read back as far as you can, you kind of flick through for points of interest. He seems to have been a scholar stroke jewelry maker. And he was essentially contracted and kind of bought in to mess around with these gemstones of unknown origin to him. He's not really aware, but you make notes of a few things. Primarily, he talks about going to essentially going to like a small settlement, like around, like on the edges of the Underdark, and meeting with a group of people called the Night Serpent Clan. And essentially, a lot of it is him complaining about them treating him with a fair amount of disrespect, making constant demands of him, not paying very well, and him being sent up to the surface on his own on this stupid research mission, pretty much. He, as I say, like the diary was left behind at his camp, so you suspect that this was before he actually took any experimentation, before he really knew what this thing did, quite possibly. And he makes multiple mentions of being rather ungenerous towards a person named Matron Mother Zyrophane. I shall spell that. So I shall say Mike mentions the Night Serpent clan. Many particularly ungenerous descriptions and grumbles around somebody called Matron Mother Zyrophane. It is mired with numerous racist descriptions of Drow as well. This man had an axe to grind, to some extent.
Basically, we found the tiniest excerpt from the Book of Grudges.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I imagine that he's reading this while walking back to. Well, we're partway walking back.
Yeah. Everyone else probably is paying more attention to where they're going and make sure you don't walk straight into a tree. But yeah. You're probably taking numerous mental notes as you read through this.
And on the way back, Terra is also going to cast Enhance ability on themselves with Owl's Wisdom.
Absolutely.
So that they have advantage on perception. You can never be too safe.
Exactly.
And you have to watch for me feeding. Yeah.
Yes.
You do,
and Scraps.
You do get especially good at watching Scraps, making sure they don't eat what they're not supposed to. I would say that as you kind of leave the grove, everything in the forest feels quite calm, really. You do keep an eye out for any... You keep a very close eye out for various creatures, and you notice that, as I say, a lot of them, rather than giving you a wide berth, they seem to be watching you, but not doing anything. Like, they seem to be, watching over you, to some extent. Again, you probably see, I would say you see a deer yet again, and it just watches as you walk by. These things aren't running away from you anymore, which you note is interesting. So you guys return to the you return to the camp of the Dusk Circle, and you notice that it has been there is a number of essentially plant fibers and stuff that have been kind of tied with colourful flowers and mushrooms. You notice there's a small kind of glow and of candles and lanterns here, as well as a kind of larger tent that seems to have been set up in the middle of it in the time that you've been gone. It looks like some kind of almost like a fair or celebration of some description. I would say that you see Ilara kind of gesture towards this central tent as you approach, there you are.
I immediately light up. Oh, is this for us?
She nods. She's like, this is a ceremony that we scarce do, let alone with outsiders, but I believe that you have truly earned it. If you would, we would like to make you protectors of Crypt Garden Forest and members of the Dusk Circle.
Yeah, why not? I'll take it.
You're very kind, my lady. I'd be honoured.
I am very
Will there be food?
I think she looks at Scraps yes, and we shall even cook that hunk of meat that you got, if you wish.
I'm very happy.
Vibrating.
She gives you a big smile, like, and there are plenty of sweet fruits as well, if they just take your fancy. Anyway, and some honey. But if you will, please, if you would like to stand in the tent, we'll say a few words, and we shall make it official. Yes.
Yes, let's.
You were basically led into this large central fabric tent, surrounded by a number of druids who seemed to. They were shy. They were shy when you appeared. They seemed talkative once you got to know them, and all of them are kind of like cheering you on to some extent and smiling at you. Like they all seem very keen on you now. Really, I think that. I think that Alara also takes note that you are wearing the encrusted circlet as well. If you have it on, Terra, I think you put it on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Terra before, like, of course, like got themselves like a little ready, like patted themselves down.
Yeah, you cleaned yourself.
Got any wrinkles out, prestidigitation, make themselves shine a little bit more.
I think that. Sorry. Go ahead, Vicken.
But I'll also be drinking in the attention.
Yeah, this feels good. Like.
Honestly, also for everyone who like allows me to, I'd like to cast mend on everybody's clothes. Whoever got like tattered in the fight or whatever.
I don't think mend will work on mine.
Yes.
No, you've got new clothes.
No, well, you have clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Terra bought you clothes.
I have like a spare set of clothes.
You have 2 sets of clothes from Terra.
I think, but then as we're walking along, like Arian's in like casting prejudice, keeping an eye on Ulrich with like the dragon, like the dragon's almost like on his shoulders, like pushing him so he moves out of the way of trees, like guiding him with. But then he's like been like keeping an eye on everyone else and like cleaning people up. But then he's also like, as right before they walk into this clearing, he like double checks scraps, goes, "Oh, for God's sake," and then does it again.
I've already got mess on me somehow. It's covered in blood and everything. You just have to like spend so much time.
Aaron's been doing it like most of the journey. Has just been like he's like clean a few people up, and then mostly just been trying to like clean up scraps.
You feel like you need to upcast Presto at 9th level to really keep it. But yeah, like you guys are kind of led into this central tent, and a small, I would say like some of the druids seem to pull out like some small kind of. I would say small kind of like wind instruments, like kind of like flutes, kind of like woodwind kind of flutes, and like small kind of metal pans. Basically, they kind of play like some kind of ambient music as you are all kind of like led. And Alara kind of asks that you all like there is like a number of like pillows placed down, seemingly made of like leaves or feathers. And she asks that you all kneel on a cushion, basically, for the duration of the ceremony.
I'll kneel in like the most middle cushion.
I guess if none of you have, if any of you have, if nobody has objections, I assume that you all do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Alara kind of Alara kind of like raises a hand, and the music kind of lowers to a kind of small, to much quieter, and she's like, "Well, I am not exactly gifted as a ceremony host, nor am I gifted in the way of words, but I think that I speak for the entirety of the circle, and especially those underneath me of Crypt Garden, that we owe you a great deal of thanks, far more than we could ever really state. Whispering Grove is a place of peace once again, and the tree that sits at its center lies somewhat battered, but yet alive, which is far more than I could have ever expected. I simply walked in and picked the first group of people that looked trustworthy, and I'm glad at the very least that my hand was guided well by the winds. I have little doubt that each and every one of you will go on to do great things. And we would like... We do not ask any more of you at least not now. But we would like to offer you each a place as a member of the Dusk Circle and bestow upon you the title of Protectors of Crypt Garden Forest. Crypt Garden itself is a living being, and it shall treat you like a friend, as shall we. The landscape itself will guide and protect you. Do you accept?
Yes.
Right. And yes.
She smiles and she kind of gestures, and a group of 6 druids each of your necks places. Actually, no, a group of 6 druids each kind of like place kind of like a chain of flowers that has kind of been weaved together around each of your neck, basically. You each have like a small...
So with Arian, like the dragon's gone behind on his shoulders, and so the neck is next to his neck, so that it can go over both of them.
I love that idea. I was also going to say they made a really tiny one for the dragon.
Or that. I like the idea of like joint one together.
Yeah, a joint one together, and then they put a very tiny one on the dragon. And I think that Alara has a small smirk on her face, and she's like, "We owe a great deal to you 7." She does kind of gesture towards the dragon.
Blog.
Well, the blog tried to kill you, so well, my friends, there's but one more thing before we engage in proper merriment and eating. She pulls out a very small, ornate wooden box and pulls out of it a wand. It is a pretty interesting looking wand. It seems to be crafted from the branch of an oak and has a number of twisting vines of grasses and flowers of various colors and varieties that you've seen growing around it. She kind of looks to you and asks, "Who will hold the Crypt Garden wand of you 6?
Looks to Uruk.
Looks to Tara.
I'm looking at everyone.
I've just had food, and I'm like, they're just taking their time, and I want food, so I'll just grab the thing.
I think to be honest with you, she probably would not. She wouldn't even like cheat you out for this. You just wander off and look for food.
Oh, okay. I'll just leave it. I'll leave it.
Scum just stands up and walks off and is like, "Okay, well, perhaps not."
Yeah, I'm not into this thing. Obviously they're interested in what's happening. I'm just like, I need food. I'm off.
I think you probably.
Tara's gonna shake their head in disappointment.
You probably like tug on like the thing of a
Yeah, like come back. Just chase me.
Well, no, I imagine this Scraps like just goes up to like a druid like, "You got any food?" And the druid's like, well, yeah." Just kind of like leads you over to it. It's gonna lead you over to it. Like they're not really gonna.
I'll follow my nose.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my.
I
That's
imagine
my
the blink dog like looks back and like trots off afterwards.
I assume the blink dog's following. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she then corrects herself and goes, "Okay, which one of you 5 would hold the garden one?"
If Ulrich's not going to do it, and like as the next most magically inclined,
I would. Well, before that, like seeing people look at him, he would look back and be like, "Is this? Can I tell from the wand looking at it? Is it magical?" And he'll probably ask, "Is this more of a ceremonial wand, or
Oh no!
is it a honored artifact?"
It is entirely magical. Yes. It is blessed by Sylvanus himself.
I think hearing that, he will probably look over to Arian and just be like, "Well, you seem to have a better idea of Sylvanus and what to do at that temple. Might be quite good in your hands."
Yeah, he'll accept that and kind of go, "Well, all right, sure." He kind of like steps forward, bows his head, and then like puts his hand out to accept it, sort of thing.
I think they very gently lay this wand in your hand, and you notice that the wand seems to receive you very well. Like, it kind of small tendrils of like grass and vine kind of grow off of this thing, and they very gently wrap themselves around your hand as if to kind of keep it in place, basically. But you feel a degree of magical energy coming off of this. You suspect that you might need to spend some time with this thing, and it might require you to attune to it. However, here's the sheet for the Crypt Garden wand for you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, you spelled crypt funny. Oh, what?
I think that's because Crypt Garden, that's how it's spelled.
That is
in
actually,
thingy,
that
isn't
is
it?
actually how it's spelled, yeah.
Yeah, because Faerun has like there's loads of like fun spellings of things for Faerun.
Yeah. Crypt Garden Forest is actually with a K. I've not made that up. Also, I shall. Well, actually, while we're here, I shall move everybody back to that the base Crypt Garden image.
Can't believe crypt garden's German.
Wunderbar.
It's
You
half
went to
German,
Germany
half
yesterday,
English.
Yeah. Crypt garden.
And they're all vegetarian too.
No.
So yeah, if you would like to add Crypt Garden wand to your inventory, we can add it to your attunements at a later point.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the amount of really good stuff Scorpia's giving us.
This is so exciting.
Yeah, we love magic items. I think with that, she kind of gestures for you all to stand and simply says, "That's all. But enjoy the festivities, and thank you again."
It was our pleasure, and I'll bow.
And I think she gives a little pat on the shoulder to Arian, like, "Wield it well, and may the Oak Father be with you always."
And with you?
Smiles and probably walks off to kind of, and say there's a number of druids all watching you, and say they kind of part the way, and kind of the music probably kicks back up, and they seem to be celebrating amongst themselves, and you are welcome to stay and eat and regale tales of adventure.
I'm in.
Tara is going to just remember that they have a giant slab of meat in their bag and just going to go track down Allura.
Alara did offer to cook it, to be fair.
Tara's just going to hand out, it's like wrapped in like parchment from like a previous, I don't know, like a previous
like
ration, and they're just going to like,
it's like a song.
This is
song lyrics. Sorry.
This is the displacer beast that scraps. God.
She smiles and she's like, "It's been a while since I have handled or cooked meat, but let alone that of another creature from another realm, but I shall try my best."
Yes, it is strange. Yeah,
I suspect.
but
Sorry, go ahead.
just do what you want with it. Cook it, throw it out. I mean, I'm not going to judge.
She smiles. She's
I'll
like,
just say you burnt it.
She's like, "Listen, we're vegetarians we may be. I think I can extend my squeamishness for meat to cook something for one of the people that helped us so much."
Yeah, it is fine.
It is no problem. Besides, ultimately, that displacer beast is absolutely not of Crypt Garden Forest, so I shall not weep its loss. If it's all the same.
Very fair. Very fair. Well, I'll see you around, Allura. Thank you again for your help.
Of course, and I hope you find what you're looking for.
I will.
I know you will. Gives you a smile, and probably wanders off to go and help in the preparing and serving of food. I'd say that Scraps, you are just already at like basically a table of food, pretty much. There's a lot of stuff on.
Is there any alcohol on the table?
No.
No.
Oh.
Well, actually, maybe there is. Maybe there is. I don't know how much these druids will be drinking alcohol, but perhaps they have at least some stuff stashed. It's probably like a glass.
I will be asking for it.
Just grab.
I think the druids like kind of snicker and they're like, no.
Oh, they don't have druid moonshine then, but they call it like something weird. Like...
Moonbeam shine.
Yeah.
Scraps, I had no idea you drink.
Oh, I'm from Baldur's Gate, live in taverns. Of course I'm dry.
But you always ordered milk.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. If there's milk, I'll have that.
Have you heard of Bailey's? You know?
I mean, you offered food. Like they didn't know you at the start. You just decided to get the milk, and they were like, "Yeah, fine." You know, they're not picky.
Yeah, you've eaten and drank a lot of things. I don't know how likely it is that a group of druids in the middle of a forest would have milk. To be honest,
whatever they have, I don't care at this point.
There probably is like a small, like you reckon you could just grab a neck of like a small thing of wine. To be honest, there is a lot of food here. There's a lot of like grapes and berries and like breads and mushrooms, and Alara brings out a hunk of cooked meat, at least somewhat cooked meat. It looks good. It looks like she's tried her best to not overcook it as best she can. It's been like sliced thin as well. And she lies it in front of Scraps and simply goes like, "If you want to eat all of it, I won't tell them."
I whistle for the dog. For block.
Oh my god.
Do you at least eat some of it? Do you eat some of it yourself?
I'll eat some of it. Yeah, obviously. I'll share it with them.
You just like, you got like a bunch of like slices of what is basically displaced beef steak, sliced really thin, and you're just gobbling it down. Like,
well, I'm gonna keep some of it as well. Just like less leftovers.
You like wrap some of it in like a cloth or something. Yeah, it's like You give the dog some. The dog seems like it enjoys it very much.
Eric told me not to give you any more rations, so we'll have to save this.
The dog nods at you. Literally Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You are going to be eating like entire like submarine sandwiches for it. Like.
No, that's how I'm gonna play it. Like, you've just given me that idea, and I'm just like, I'm doing that now.
I can't.
Wherever we go, I'm just gonna go look for food.
I'm trying to think of how closely we can model the party on the Mystery Gang. Like,
Ulrich is Velma, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I think Journey's Fred.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Terror is so Daphne, it hurts. Actually. I guess that Scraps is Shaggy and Rye is fucking Scrappy Doo.
Yes, Rye's Scrappy.
I'm leaving.
Rye's like, let me at him. Like, literally.
They get stuck in the roots for the entire time.
I've never been more offended in my life.
I'm trying to think who Arian can be because I can't think of Ed. I guess there's two Velmas basically.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Arian is Velma and Ulrich is like Ben Ravencroft from Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. You're just also very magical and intelligent, basically. we can fit it in. You just don't try to summon a witch and kill the Mystery Gang at the end. Or maybe you do, I don't know.
You might drive crazy.
Beyond your comprehension.
We can also have like old cartoons Velma and new cartoons Velma. The newer one is more sassy.
There's just two. There's two Velmas, yeah. Here goes Ben Ravencroft. There you go, that's you.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is it. We've made the Mystery Gang.
What is the mystery mobile going to be? We need to get one of those.
It's literally
It's going to be... No, it's going to be...
Koalesh or whatever it is. Or a big crab.
We're just going to get a caravan. That's what we're going to get. We're just going to get a caravan and we're going to paint it with our group.
We're going to paint flowers on it.
Let's split up and like the last thing you want to do in D&D is split up.
Yeah, split up, yeah.
For clues.
Okay. We'll do it anyway.
Okay, gang, let's split up and look for clues. So you all get TKO'd. Like, that's literally.
I really want to like cut holes in like the eyes of a painting now and hide behind
Oh
it.
god, no.
The creepy groundskeeper. I can't believe it.
Oh, that's who I am. I'm not Scooby-Doo after all.
Excellent.
Okay.
I love everything about this. What have I done?
You've created something majestic.
I have, yeah.
I think so. So there's a band, right, at the party?
Yeah,
or a performer.
There is a group of druids who are somewhat have at least some experience with instruments. It's like woodwinds and stuff like that. It's like, as I say, it's like I don't know what you call it, like panpipes and stuff like that, probably. Like steel drums and things.
And how many people like are here? Like, would you estimate?
Probably, I would say probably a few more than were here when you went to sleep. You suspect maybe some were out patrolling, and perhaps some of these are from the wider Dusk Circle. Probably like maybe 15 druids here, plus Alara, maybe.
Okay. So I think Tara, after having a little bit to eat and a little bit to drink as well, are going to get. Only it's hard for them to get tipsy, but they're going to get very slightly inebriated. They're going to join the performers on stage.
Absolutely. You probably go back to the central tent and play underneath it or something like that, most likely.
Yeah, and they're going to just bring out the lute, since it's the only instrument that they have on them, unfortunately. And they're just going to go off and kind of like try to command the band, essentially.
Yeah, you're like trying to. You're like, let me show you how it's done, folks. You're leading the performance, and I shall ask for a performance check.
I can finally use it. And they're also going to use Bardic Inspiration on the other performers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they just have so much Bardic Inspiration.
Let's just assume that you can add like the outcome of a Bardic Inspiration die to this. So if you want to roll, you can roll your performance and then add. I think it's a D6 at this level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's D6.
Let's see how you do.
God.
Oh my god! That's like literally
32.
That's almost as high as it can possibly be. Like,
yeah, that's the highest DC you can get, right? It's 30 or something.
Yeah.
I impressed the gods themselves.
I would say
with my performance.
I would say that in this moment you feel a sense of it's almost like a lot of your worries and stuff kind of flutter away on the wind with the music itself, and you really get into it. Like, all of them follow your lead, and honestly, they're very talented. You don't know how much of it is your own influence really helping these or what, but this is really like an enchanting performance, and like you stand in the middle of all of this and you just feel like a sense of musical accomplishment beyond anything you've ever really felt. This would bring tears to the eyes of the common listener, you would think. It's beautiful, it's so calm, so serene, and in that moment you feel a sense of like you kind of it almost comes flooding back from the other day, your feeling of following the currents of the winds, and you feel pulled in a direction. You feel like you are being called back to Waterdeep. that's how you feel, just standing here playing this music, really losing yourself to the feeling of it. It's like the clearest that your mind has felt in a long time. And you play and play and play for probably a good chunk of time, most likely.
Yes. There is something else. Like, how is everybody in the party doing? Like, what are they? What's their deal?
Then what are we doing, or how are we doing?
Yeah, what are you doing at the party? Are you,
I think I would be enjoying your performance, honestly.
I'll be drinking a bit as well and trying to get what people's visions were out of them, like asking Journey about it.
I'm just in the corner.
I'm probably in a similar corner, maybe not the same corner, but probably near. No, maybe Scraps can sense the warmth of like the thermal cube.
I'm falling asleep, man. I've eaten so much food. I'm in a food coma at this moment in
probably
time.
just like in the back and either talking to. If there's druids nearby, he might be talking to them and asking about like the local like nature or whatever, or he's just like reading his own and studying his own like books and stuff.
Okay.
You probably get numerous little stories of various creatures and stuff throughout the woods. You're not sure how useful it is exactly, but you do enhance your notes.
Something.
Yeah, it's something rather than nothing, really. Yeah, and as I say, the rest of you hear just one of the finest musical performances you've ever heard.
Well, ha. Tara's going to try something new that I've never done before that I just really want to use.
Okay.
They're going to use enthralling performance.
Yeah.
On Scraps and Uruk, which essentially,
oh my god,
it's a very big thing.
Yeah.
But you both need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, 1 second. I was not prepared to roll anything.
14.
Okay, that is my
wisdom
DC.
save.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it.
I'm asleep, bro. I'm asleep. You can't get me.
The wisest
fine.
decision is falling asleep after eating a lot of food.
You should have gone for me. I've got -1 wisdom, dude.
Hey, you know what? I can do 3 people.
Oh, bollocks.
I think I can do 3 people. Hold on.
I imagine
Use a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watch and listen to you up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. So I can do 4 people, actually.
Oh.
Sure, let's do Rye as well. Let's do Journey as well. Let's do Rye and Journey.
Okay.
Oh my god, you guys are doing crazy on your wisdom saves though, but Ryan's the first person to fail.
No!
I said I'm listening closely to the performance.
There's always one. There's always one. That one. There's always one.
This is fine, I think.
So how I essentially kind of want to flavor this is Tara is going to be throwing it up on stage, going ham, and they're just going to spend just a moment looking at the 4 of you, just giving you each a moment out of all of this, grabbing your eyes towards them.
I'm just snoring.
Scraps is snoring away, just grabbing...
Get a glance up from the book before he goes back down to like whatever he was making.
But to Rye and Journey, you are considered charmed by me. And as the spell says, you idolize me and speak glowingly of me if anybody talks to me, but basically, you're like on my side, but instead of like idolizing me, I would like you just both to just get up and start really enjoying the music and start dancing.
Oh my god, that's the best application of charm.
I really like the performance, and because I idolize you so much, I'm going to try and sing along.
I grab Rai into a dance.
Okay, so
I want to fail this now.
you two, you grab Rye and you start to dance. Rye, would you like to give me a performance check as you sing along?
I'm gonna give them bardic inspiration.
Oh my god.
Okay, 1d6 extra onto that. If you would like to roll a 1d6, please, Rickard. An 11!
Okay, an 11.
It's not like you had set lyrics to go to, so your lyricism is not the best, but your voice sounds pretty good, you reckon?
I'll just take one of my sailor songs I know and try and make it fit.
Yeah, you're just like, sailing the 7 trees.
What we'll do with drunken sailor?
What do we do with the drunken druid? What do we do?
And I would say, I think Tara, like, especially with their high performance check, just goes with it. They like shift the tone to something that they would imagine to be like more kind of like sea shanty. Yeah.
Oh my god! Hang on, give me a second. I'm just changing music.
I mean, because they got a 32. I mean, like, it's a 32.
It's an average of ours, and it's a natural 20 still.
If you play RuneScape Shanty, I will bite you.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you!
I'm sorry. I literally had the link copied and pasted. I can't not.
This is canonically what plays.
This reminds you of home and selling bananas, you know? Like...
Oh my god.
32 gives you this, man.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
A 32 gives you this.
Yes.
I rolled a 2. Oh.
Okay. This is perfect. So that's essentially what they're gonna do. They're just gonna bring Journey and Ray into the fray, and the charm lasts for an hour. But what's good about it is you don't know that you were charmed, which is my favorite part of the spell.
There will be blood otherwise.
But yeah, just for the hour, you're charmed.
Tell you what, I'll get a better sea shanty sounding thing that isn't a sea shanty thing. There we go.
What do you mean? This is perfect.
It's amazing.
I guess I'm having just a really good time for an hour then.
Yeah. I mean,
there's worse things to happen when you get charmed, really.
Yeah, totally. I love this.
Yeah.
You would have been doing this anyway, even if you weren't magically charmed by the music.
Probably not. That's why I appreciate it.
Oh, okay, this is like giving you a boost of confidence to go up and dance. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how this works with right.
You just...
I just think I'm back on my old ship and like I'm sloshed. That's how it works.
Yeah. You drank down the wine like it was grog. And now you're like fucking. You know.
Can I join in on this? I think I must have been woken up by this.
You get like nuts dancing. You get woken up by that.
Thing is, I have proficiency in performance and I want to use it because I was like.
It could be even me, like, if you want, like, going, hey, Scott, join us, and me, like, poking you or something.
Yeah.
You get woken up, and you're like, let me belt out a fucking tune or some shit.
I'm the drunken master. I will perform. I don't know how I would perform.
You start, like, breakdancing or something.
Yeah.
Tara will give you bardic inspiration.
There you go.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Bardic inspiration, please.
Uh-oh.
1d6. Please.
What is it?
Add a
1d6.
a d6.
Yeah. 23?
23.
This is the hardest anyone's ever danced at a sea shanty.
It works too. It works.
Yeah. You guys are pumped as fuck singing sea shanties in the middle of a forest. And just jamming the fuck out, honestly. This is a proper jam. And then Eric's just trying to read a book.
Yeah, he just... what is that shit?
Turn that shit off.
Eric's like, who
Well, I
gave
think the
these-
thing is, like, thinking about it, I don't think he probably would have never, like, he
Listen
might have
to much
experienced
music.
some of this,
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
he's probably never had, like, this exactly, or, like, something similar, and if it was a very, like, infrequent occasion, so he kind of just doesn't, he doesn't know what to do, and he's also not interested.
You know
like
what?
documenting
You know
it or
what,
something.
Tara? You know what Tara's going to do? Tara's going to have dancing lights. They're going to cast dancing lights. They're going to do the same kind of disco ball effect that they did at session 1. Of course, like, you know, shining and making the whole thing have an atmosphere. And they're going to purposely make it so that they always shine on Urik's eyes while they're trying to focus. So that they cannot be, like, ignored.
Even when he turns around, it's still there.
moving though. Eric's just like the guy in the party that really doesn't want to be there. Like Eric's like
He's the designated driver.
Eric's like me, like at like my mum's like 50th, just bored out of my fucking mind, listening to shit music. Sorry, Mum.
I will say a few more things of last couple of things before, because Tara is extra.
You don't say.
No.
Oh yeah, no, not
I'll
at
get
all.
that.
Let's see. This is a cone. Okay, so Tara is gonna do a little thingy, but Tara wants to cast color spray,
That blinds
but into
people.
the sky.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
into the sky.
fireworks, like
so that-
fireworks.
yeah, so it's just like a spectacle of color and rainbow.
I thought you were going to do that at Ulrich again.
Your last chance, bro. Get in the party.
Listen, if you don't get in the mosh pit, I'm going to put the fucking sun in your eyes.
I have a stray in one hand. Go to the mosh.
I have a 1,000 lumen flashlight. You will fucking get in the mosh pit, or I will blast your fucking, I will blast your fucking retinas out. You know, like, try reading then, you fucking nerd. I do like that you're doing it in the sky though, like fireworks,
Yeah, so very much like they're gonna just do rainbows of colors. They have 4 first level spell slots.
Oh my
So they're gonna
God.
cast it 4 times.
Oh my God.
Like especially like near the end of the performance where there's like big hits. Just lots of impact. There's lots of climax, lots of building.
Do you have minor illusion? I can't remember. I was just gonna say because like minor illusion, I guess you can make like the sound, like the popping of sound, like the popping of like fucking fireworks. But
I
Oh,
am charmed. I can help you with thaumaturgy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can work off of it. Yeah,
I will help you, sure. Whatever like effect you want to achieve, I will do that.
yeah.
You see the colourful lights and you make them pop like fireworks. Like,
Of course, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Literally fireworks sounds.
I think all the druids are just watching this spectacle like this is like nothing they've ever seen, right? Like basically they are a bunch of people that live off of like mushrooms in the middle of the forest, and you've given them like a full-on like Glastonbury performance for free. Like
The tent and the mud.
yeah, like you got moshing druids and everything. It's great. Right?
Just so they're going ham. Tara's going ham, and
Absolutely ham, yeah.
I think they will end their performance with like a big hit and kind of like some. Of course, like they're gonna do like the big like concert, and you're like it's just leave it in quiet, and like they're just gonna just give like a big bow. As you do after making a performance that the gods, even the gods, would weep at.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I clap.
They.
I clap because I have to.
I have to and I want
Eric's in
to.
the back just with his earplugs in. It's just
And Tara is going to send a message to Eric through the cast while like in this little kind of intermediary period, they're going to just say to Ulrich, I know that you are a big old grumpy wizard, but relax some and have some fun. You don't have to dance. Just give it a break for one night.
I think that when it obviously when you come over, you probably have a smirk on his face. You can this is obviously when you talk after you've performed, you've come round. You can kind of tell he enjoys being a bit grumpy, a bit curmudgeon. But yeah, he's again with what he's doing, he's kind of you can I guess when you are looking more closely because you're observing the whole room, you could tell he was
Watching.
enjoying the atmosphere, but it was a bit much. So he was just I'm just gonna watch from a distance. I can enjoy that, but being any closer, I'd rather I'm happy being observing this and just being around it. It's so you're just kind of chilling at the edge. It's probably what you get when you talk to him afterwards and ask on his thoughts and stuff. Or what do you think of the performance? He'd be like, "Yeah, you did a very good job," but pretty loud. The lights are a bit much.
I think after saying that, Tara's going to come back on stage. They're not done yet, just yet.
Encore.
They're tossing
gonna
roses at you.
Yeah. I think Tara's gonna do multiple bows, and they're going to walk back to the other people, the other performers, and they're just gonna quietly ask them, tell them, can you dim the lights just a little bit? I'm assuming that it's
It's outside, isn't it?
I thought this was intent.
You're the one doing the lights.
I guess they blow out the candles a bit or something.
Oh my god!
Once again, I can do the thaumaturgy as well. Dim the candles and fires.
And Tara's just gonna say, "You guys can take a break," the back crew, and they're going to have a stool. They're gonna be much more calm. You've had the big party, and now it's time to socialize.
Here's my stand-up routine.
Yeah.
What's the deal with city
Displacer beasts.
This is the perfect time for a Displacer Beast ambush now, Scorpia. Now those use all of it.
What's the deal with blink dogs?
What's the deal with Dwergar? Oh no, I should use that material.
Oh no!
Oh no!
But Tara is going to do a much more subdued performance.
Mm-hmm. The kind of gentle
they're going to,
type performance.
Yeah, a much kind of closer, much more emotional. And they're going to be singing in Dwarvish.
Okay.
It's similar to the same kind of Dwarvish lullaby that they were singing to themselves, but a little more upbeat, so not as sad.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the mood, keeping the atmosphere, and kind of just bringing it on. And they're going to be disco balling themselves as well, so.
They disco ball themselves.
Mm-hmm. So very much slow dancing, talking, the usual.
Yeah, you're kind of your gentle kind of spoken word type performance, right? It's some lower energy songs, maybe a bit of poetry or something. This is this is a real variety hour, really.
I'm also trying to butt in because I adore Terra so much, and I just want to help by giving them my own stories. Where I'm absolutely the centre of attention.
It's like the heckler in the crowd.
Yes. I heckle because I love.
This is it.
Terra will stare daggers at you.
I'll cry.
My idol hates me. My idol hates me.
Never meet your heroes.
I have a question, Scorpia.
Yeah.
Since I'm not concentrating on this because it's not a spell; it's an ability.
Yeah.
Can I end a person's concentration willingly? Or charmed willingly? Or do I have to wait?
I think you probably can. It's specifically it's you doing an action to do it. I kind of imagine that you could probably break it to some extent.
Yeah, because in theory, if you stop performing and then you start a new one that's not separate, it's no longer an enthralling performance.
I mean, yeah, I did stop it and start a new one, so yeah, I guess the charm would end on Olio.
I would not notice it happened. It's like a blacked out.
I mean, definitely slowing down, but I'm still enjoying the performance, right?
Yeah.
I just wake up mid dancing with Journey. Yeah, I'll continue.
And they're going to look over to Eric once more and just kind of give like a little sly smile.
He'll nod back. He's probably put down the book and is just like, you know, I don't know if he's talking with many of the druids, but he's probably just like finishing up some notes. And you'll probably see actually, like, you've probably seen him with it before a couple of times. It might be, yeah, he's probably got a sketchbook out at this point.
You're like doodling what you see, basically.
Yeah, just like the setup and like the environment. So he's probably just like, probably not anything detailed of people, but just kind of like an environment.
Yeah. Do you want to roll to see how good your drawing is?
What would that even be? What's a roll to draw?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, I mean...
Dexterity, sleight of hand, performance.
Maybe.
I could just do like a flat dex.
You can do a flat dex.
Like
I think a flat dex, yeah, you can do that. It's not as detailed as you'd like it to be, and you can't quite get a lot of the...
It's all the light in your eyes.
Yeah, there's a...
Aside from all the writing earlier and the casting spells, it's...
Yeah, you're a bit exhausted, really. That's, still, you know, it's not bad. You draw a lot. This is okay. It's just like... This is like you're like, I'm not satisfied with this.
Yeah.
You turn the page over and you're just like, I can't fucking bother.
Ugh, I know that feeling.
That's such a
Tara is just Tara's gonna do this probably for 30 minutes to an hour while they kind of like really slowly bring everything to an end. And I mean they've been performing for like 3 hours solo. So it's tough, but they pull through. I think after that they're just gonna like mingle with the crowd, say hi to everybody in the party, definitely. Checking on everybody.
I think everything's kind of said. I can imagine it like this is kind of taking you all the way through to like the early evening, basically. Like it is getting a bit darker out, but yeah, the druids have all kind of relaxed, and they all kind of gather around. You know, they compliment your performance and whatnot as well. Like they were all very on board. They were like, it's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. So you know.
It was okay.
Man that spent 1 hour singing sea shanties.
It was amazing. That is what it was.
It was great.
Hurts.
It's all right.
2 out of 10. All right.
I'd go again.
Viterra's gonna get another meal on them, get a proper meal, and I think after mingling, and this is basically the rest of the day, they're gonna mingle around, and then they're going to kind of head off. And
actually, Tara, when you were checking up on everyone, I think I would stop you for a second just to say something.
Yes.
Tara, those lights you did during battle when you lit up those beasts, that was very useful. Thank you.
Oh, most certainly. It's I may not be great in combat, but I'm good at making things shine.
It helped a lot.
I'm glad it helped. I'm glad you were able to hit them. It's not really my specialty.
I think I just like nod to that.
Well, did you enjoy the performance?
Oh, very.
Yes, I heard you went to one of them before, am I right?
Mm-hmm. I think I saw you in Waterdeep.
Yes, I remember Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I want to see how good that performance was. Oh, was not my best performance, but but I'm glad you saw it nonetheless.
Listen. One of my caravan members got really drunk that night. Okay, you know how it is with drummers.
When I saw you 2 weeks ago, I would never guess we'd be traveling together now.
Yeah,
and for sure this performance was better than that one.
Yes, I accidentally kind of went all out. I really immersed myself. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you visit Waterdeep much?
No, that was my first time actually. I was traveling with Scraps up north to Leyland. That was pretty much my first time leaving Baldur's Gate.
I see. What did you do in Baldur's Gate before this?
My parents wanted me to take over their family business, but that's not really my thing. I'd rather be here adventuring. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. And what business, might I ask?
Nothing much, just like clothing.
Clothing can be a good business to get into. Everybody needs clothes.
So I've been told multiple times over several years.
I understand. It can be oppressive being in the shadow of somebody else.
I enthusiastically nod to this, and I fully agree.
Did you leave on good terms?
Well, not entirely. Maybe I should write a letter back or something.
You should. Seeing family go, no matter how bitter the goodbye is always painful for one or both of the parties.
Mm-hmm.
You should write back. Let them know you're okay.
Okay, I will when I find the words for it.
Of course. And Tara just giving a very warm smile.
I think I smile back, despite seeming a little bit sad.
Can Tara tell that they're a little bit sad?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Tara is just gonna just a little sigh and just give a hug.
Okay.
It is going to be okay.
Thank you.
And then they're gonna release the hug and just give a little nod, still holding their arms, shoulder shoulders, and say, I have some thinking to do myself, but I will be back for sleep.
Mm-hmm. So, see you around or tomorrow?
Yes, see you around. I'm gonna give like a small nod and just head out, check up on everybody else, and see if they're doing okay. And then they're gonna go off into the grove, a little bit into the grove.
Yeah, that's reasonable. It's a bit darker, but you can light your way fairly easily, I believe.
Yeah, they have dancing lights.
Exactly. I'd say your lights definitely hit the various colours, and without this kind of thick layer of this foul-smelling fog over the place, and without the blue veins everywhere, there's a quiet, nice tranquility to it all. You kind of appreciate your surroundings. Again, you notice animals, and they seem to notice you, but they don't seem to necessarily do very much about it other than just kind of curiously watch you from a ways away, pretty much.
Terra is going to cast Enhance Ability on themselves using their last spell slot of the day for the Eagle's Grave?
Eagle's Splendor?
No, it's the Owl's Splendor, that's what it was.
Owl's...
Or Owl's Wisdom, whatever.
Owl's Wisdom.
You get it.
Yeah.
Owl's Wisdom, I'm smart.
Yeah, for perception.
So they have for perception, just so they don't get narked in the forest. And they're just going to spend the hour thinking.
Do you like...
And reflecting.
How far into the grove do you go, out of interest?
Not too far. They would still want to hear the party to make sure that, it doesn't burn down and they're not there to help.
Yeah.
But, they don't have to they don't have to see it. They just need to hear it.
Okay. I think you spend some time alone. Could you make a perception check for me with advantage?
Of course. Womp.
Okay.
Well, I'm good tonight, baby.
Yeah, you're doing good. You feel like kind of off in the distance. I would say, from here, you realize that the distance that you actually traveled today from the entrance to the grove to the center, not that big, really. Maybe a few minutes travel. And I would say that you notice there seems to be some amount of light coming from the grove itself. The center of the grove.
So they're at the tree?
Yeah. Kind of back.
Are the bodies still there?
Well, you're not there, right? You'd have to go over
there
to see.
Yeah.
But the body was there when you left.
I think Tara will just walk around the tree, eyeing it suspiciously. Just a little bit.
I think you notice something. You notice something move in the. You notice something move up in the branches, rustling the leaves. Most likely. You probably you hear the very faint sound of a laugh, or what sounds like a laugh
from the person in the tree.
From something in the tree, yeah.
I think Tara's gonna immediately step back to the edge. And they're going to just eyes laser focused on that, whatever it is.
You again, advantage perception for me, please. 20 again. You make out the figure, a relatively small figure in the tree, and they seem to you notice them. They seem to be sat, and similarly, they seem to be watching you. You notice that, as I say, relatively small, and what really kind of the sprinkling of light that really catches your eyes. You realize whatever this thing is, it has a very small set of wings.
They're gonna cautiously step forward and gonna hold out their arms so they're around 30 feet away.
Yeah.
I believe that's the range of it. Oh, this is 120 feet. But until they're 30 feet away, they're gonna cast Dancing Lights and bring them over to the figure.
And lighting up where they are, basically.
Yes.
I think you you hear the laughing just kind of stop, and you see you just hear like a creature sighs. It's something is it's like his face gets blasted by light, and through the leaves you can barely really make out the figure particularly well, but they seem to be some kind of you've never seen one before, but some kind of fairy. And you just hear like their laughter ends, and they're like, "I would really appreciate it if you did not blast my face with light."
I apologize. They're going to recall the dancing lights and cast them once again, but it's going to be like, yeah, just to light up the area a little bit above. I apologize. I did not mean to interrupt.
It's fine. You hear them kind of just kind of like, you know, they seem vitally pissed off, but you see them kind of like they kind of hang from the tree branch and just kind of stare at you. You notice like they have a very kind of a particular look to them. Like I think I have one sec. There we go. So you notice they have a greenish-like complexion, which they kind of do blend into the leaves. They have like a set of glowing green eyes without any pupils, and there is a grin kind of hung on their face. They seem to be wearing a really tattered-looking cloak of some description, and as I say, they just kind of hang. It's like a monkey off of this tree and just kind of stare at you like, well, are you lost?
No, I am not lost. I was on a walk from the grove. Well, we just had a party, a celebration of our triumph over this, the cleaning of this grove, essentially. And it was the celebration of that.
I see. I think at this point they kind of like glide down to the ground and they approach the dead displacer beast, kind of placing a hand on it, and then they just kind of look back to you like, so what you're telling me is this is your handiwork?
Well, killing them, not specifically mine, but I did help out. We did it as a group of 6.
Interesting. Very interesting. Just kind of looks over the entire scene, like I guess piecing it all together, and then just kind of looks at you and says, "You want my advice, friend?"
Sure, I'll take any advice I can.
Keep your nose out of where it doesn't belong. And then you watch as this thing just dissipates into nothing. And just disappears in front of your eyes.
I think Tara is just a little speechless. They're gonna just grunt and then just walk back. And they're gonna just be themselves in the breath.
You, I guess you probably head back towards camp as it gets a bit darker.
Yeah, Tara's not even going to be out for an hour.
Yeah. This was enough for you to go decide to go back, most likely.
I think Tara's going to go back to the party, and I think they're going to be drinking. And to anybody who is perceptive enough, you could tell that Tara is not in a great mood.
I'm sorry, I do have to use the toilet quickly.
Yeah, no worries. We can take a couple of minutes if you like. Yeah, that's fine.
I would enjoy a quick break as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, likewise.
Whoa.
Hi.
Oh, maybe jump. Hi.
Oh.
Oh, hi.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
I do have a question for you, Scorpia.
Absolutely. Ask away.
How strong is the alcohol here?
It's all right. It's like wine, basically. It's like brewed wine from fruits and stuff.
Yeah, it's basically something you can make at home, right? The levels of...
Yeah, that kind of level is. But like that being said, it's just not particularly strong. You suspect that they like the taste more. That you suspect that these people do not drink alcohol heavily very much.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I'm back.
So what you're saying is Tara can't really get super drunk.
You would have to. You could not get plastered properly. No, not that drunk.
No, because I'm thinking it's kind of hard for Tara to get drunk because you're raised by dwarves and that.
You're a fucking rave lunatic. Like
Yes.
You've been taking shots from Waterdeep to Baldur's Gate. Like you're fucking. You can neck alcohol and metabolize it. Honestly, I think probably some combination of you're a dragonborn, you're raised by dwarves, and you are a musician means that you probably have a far higher tolerance for alcohol than most people do.
Can we change from the Scooby Gang to Spinal Tap now?
You're the fucking the metal
So
apocalypse guy.
I think Tara will be trying to get drunk and be failing bad, being just failing at it.
You know what these guys probably have though?
What?
Weed.
That is so true. That is so fucking true.
Just gonna get high in a D&D session.
Listen, I saw some fairies. I need to toke up, like fucking.
Where's Druid Jane?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Mary Druid Jane. Yeah, I'd like some of that Druid Kush, please. Oh,
The weed strain Salvianus.
the Sylvan weed strain.
That would be a good name for a strain of weed, though.
Yeah. Got you speaking Sylvan.
That's what happened earlier with the big dog. No, the blink dog.
Give the blink dog a fucking spliff.
Give the dog an edible.
You can start talking to it.
Don't give Scraps edibles.
Don't give Scraps edibles. Welcome back, Bryn. We're talking about druid weed. How's it
going? Yeah, Tara's just going to be trying to get drunk and then failing miserably and then being upset that they cannot get drunk.
I would say you're not being coy about this either, right? Like,
no, they're quite visibly upset.
I guess I'll offer like what little I have, which is the meat in my pocket, and like say, well, it's not much. It might make you feel better.
Thank you, Scraps. I am not in the mood for displacing meat. I do not think that it will sit well.
Be yourself.
But thank you nonetheless. I'm just gonna raise their cup to it.
Take a bite of the thing and hold it up as well.
You're gonna try and make like Displace a Beast jerky. Like
How does it taste, by the way? The meat.
Pretty good. Tastes a bit like it. I would say I kind of expect it to be almost a little bit beef-like to some extent. They normally say tastes like chicken, but no, it's more like beef in this case.
I was thinking, wouldn't Displace a Beast taste bad because it's like a predator?
I mean, I'm sure it's not like great, but for someone who's like obsessed with eating meat, it's probably all right. It's probably a bit. I would say it's probably really muscly and sinewy type meat. You know, like most likely. It's not great, but you've had far worse. You lived on the streets of Baldur's Gate. Like this is real fresh meat. Like, you know, can't complain too much. Beggars can't be choosers. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What happened? You looked a little worse for wear.
Stupid fairies. Trying to tell me what to do.
I look puzzled. You saw a fairy?
You don't know anything about the fairies. Fairies, at least in the stories I've been told, are devious.
I know what fairies are.
Sorry.
Then you do not need any explanation.
Do continue. Do continue though with what you're gonna say. I'm interested.
They are annoying.
I don't know what fairies are.
Go on.
Little can't be pieces of shit. And I'm not going to listen to one or have it to tell me what to do or stick my head in and out of.
You do note it as interesting that usually fairies will try and keep up some kind of rapport or try to trick you into making deals and things. And this one in particular just straight up told you basically to fuck off.
Tara doesn't like being told to fuck off.
No, understandably. No, I don't think most people do. But point being, from what you like, if you have experience or know how a fairy's uncharacteristic, really.
Do I overhear this conversation?
I don't think Terra's trying to be subtle, really.
No,
Terra is not trying to be subtle.
No, I'm just gonna come over and ask, again, like, what's wrong?
Fairies? Something about sticking their heads in something?
I would have probably followed Rai because we've been hanging out.
Yeah, fairies. What did I say to you? Go on.
Terra's just gonna squint their eyes at Rai and just undrunkenly raise their glass and just say, "The fairies are pieces of shit."
And I'll toast as well.
I raise up my hunk of meat.
So fairy.
I also toast to that. Not really knowing what's being talked about, but sure.
I saw a fairy on my little walk that I had outside to clear my head and think about everything that has been going on. I saw a fairy
So
at the grove.
What did they offer you?
They offered me nothing. I saw them. I said hello. They said, "Hi, get your lights out of my face." And I said, "Okay." And they said, "Is this your doing?" I said, "Yes, it's just the group of 6 that we did. We protected and cured this grove." And then they said, do not stick your head where it should not belong." And then they disappeared.
Nothing?
Nothing.
That can't be a fairy. Come on, you're drunk, admit it.
I am trying to, but this alcohol is barely that.
I mean, a fairy would be possible. Like if there's been stuff meddling with the Feywilds, it would kind of make sense if one was either drawn to this place or fairy normally just roam this kind of forest.
I don't know. I'm just tired of the supernatural.
I look at the dog.
I came here to find my family, not to intervene with outside forces. And this is all that I have. This is all that we have been doing, is intervening with outside forces. I've been listening to winds, connecting with the spirit of the forest. It is not something that I wanted to do. I just wanted to find the people who I love and the people who are closest to me, and I do not have that. I'm in fact further away from them than I ever could be. Where's that druid lady? I forgot her name. Where is she? Alora. Where's Alora? And Tara's just gonna get up and looking around for Alora.
She's
Night.
Sorry. Go ahead. You
I was gonna ask. I'm gonna ask Blog.
Yeah.
If they've seen the fairy, or like something. I'll describe a fairy to them and see if they nod or bark or something.
The dog does not understand common, but if you speak Sylvan,
can I repeat the question? I can. I can offer.
Yeah, go.
Bark for yes, bark for no.
Okay, how many barks for yes, how many barks for no?
At the same time.
It's got -1 intelligence. Let me try again.
It's like bark once for yes, bark twice for no.
Yeah. I'll just ask him, have you seen any fairies around the tree?
It seems to stop and think for a moment, and then just goes, "Boo."
Yes.
1 for yes or 2 for no? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's like in character. You said yes.
And I think, like, as Tara's kind of like looking around for Allura, they're just gonna look back and say, "And now we have people talking to dogs. Blink dogs, nonetheless."
Smarter than a normal dog, to be fair.
But Tara, Blog says he saw a fairy, so maybe.
Why did you name him Blog?
It seemed right. Blink dog, Blog.
Hey.
He has a point.
Mm.
I think you find Alara.
He seems to like it.
Alara's like packing up like the tent that they set up, basically. At this point, like just packing stuff away, basically.
Tara is just gonna go walk over to Laura.
Yeah.
Just like head in hands and just say, Laura, I need to speak with you.
She stops what she's doing and she's like, okay, what can I help
I
you with?
took a walk to the grove, which I didn't know was so close, but it was very close. I took a walk there and I saw a fairy. I said hi to the fairy, and then the fairy basically said, do not meddle in affairs that you should not, and then disappeared.
Do not meddle in affairs you should not. That's interesting. That's Well, it's not entirely unheard of to have fairies in these woods, but not for a long, long time. I wonder. She thinks for a second. She's like, from very little stories I've heard of fairies, they're usually trying to get something out of you. I'm surprised that you had little to say. Maybe he was looking for something, or in the process of doing something.
I am not drunk enough. Do you have anything that's stronger?
He's like, I think you've probably had enough. Somehow.
I have not. I have not had enough.
Alara shakes her head and she's like, I don't think that an unclear head is going to help make much more sense of this.
Just gonna sigh and just disappointingly look off and just. I'm gonna go to bed.
Before you do, tell me, when you and your friends cured the tree, what happened?
Well, there was a big blue scab on the tree.
Okay.
It's blob. I poked it with my rapier, nothing happened. But then the pseudo dragon came and touched it, and then healed it, and then it fell off, shattered, and then showed apparently everybody a vision.
A vision? Okay. Interesting. And what was yours?
They're gonna look around to see if the group is near and they're like earshot.
Do you want us to be?
Now that's up to y'all.
Yeah.
At least for me, it didn't look like you wanted to be followed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have followed you.
You just kind of stormed off, yeah.
They're gonna lower their voice a little bit and they're gonna say, it showed me my family. And not only my family, it showed me. They're gonna kind of look off a little bit. And maybe. Hold on, I need to roll a dice for this. This is a dice ring.
Okay. An 18.
Okay. And maybe even a little embarrassed, which you not expect out of Tara. Yeah.
Yeah.
It showed me. They're gonna pull out the journal and pull out the drawing of their group, and they're gonna point to Onyx. They're going to say, "It showed me him."
Your family. And she takes a look and she's like, I'm an old enough woman to recognize when somebody's in love with somebody. Still, do not let me embarrass you. Interesting. Vision of your family. Well, it's certainly better than the wind, no?
I guess. But no, I'm not one for visions.
Well,
I'm not really one for superstition.
I can understand that, but I must point out that these things that you call superstition are all real, to some extent. Fairies, they're not tales, they are creatures from another place. Trees are trees, and the wind is the wind. It all exists. Perhaps you could take some faith in your visions as well. If so, that means that your family are okay, no?
He was crying.
Perhaps he missed you.
Perhaps. I would just prefer things that are much more solid in reality and in front of me. But I guess a fairy was in front of me not only 10 minutes ago.
I would say this. Keep in mind that you are living in, well, the entirety of the Sword Coast is a magical place where things aren't always as they seem. Thousands of years of history have showed us that. Things that you wouldn't believe have happened. Things that I've never heard of. But point being that, honestly, if this is the first thing close to a clue that you've got, maybe you should follow your what you saw, I suppose.
Maybe I should.
Listen, I won't tell you how to live your life or how to find the people that you're looking for, but I will say that I place a little bit of faith in the forest, and I don't believe it would lead you astray. Perhaps you might find something. Listen, rest. You've earned it. You need it. Perhaps take it easy on the alcohol, yes?
This is nothing but fine.
Regardless, it's not good to attempt to cure one's pain by forgetting things. Not when you have things that are important in your head right now.
I guess. Fine. They're just gonna look around and
Listen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, they're just gonna try to look around, see like the beds are.
Yeah. Before you go to bed, when you find your family, we'd love to have you here to perform again. Yes?
Yes. And believe me, that was just me. Believe me, when it's all heaven. Hold on. Hold on. I know my lore. 6. All 6 of us. It's quite the show.
I'm certain it is. Rest well, yes? He gives you a smile and a pat on the shoulder. It feels hollow but reassuring to some extent.
Yes, I will. And they're just gonna go to pass out.
Fair. You've had a very long day. And the rest of you? Sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, because it's all like together, right? Is Urish here in the group as well?
Yeah, he'd be just probably either talking and making like small talk, or mostly just like probably making sketches still of like probably like adding detail from what he remembers of like the blink dog, or like drawing the blink dog, or maybe adding details like a sketch of the displacer beast.
Yeah,
and I imagine Aaron's just like next to him, like they're discussing it as he's doing it, because obviously he's the most magically inclined. So he's the one who assessed blog, so he's got like more details on blink dogs that he's like helping add details, sort of thing.
Yeah, and you just got very, very good perception as well. So you have,
Yeah.
Well, not you, but the pseudo dragon does. I imagine the pseudo dragon is with you as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna ask like everyone. So, what are your thoughts on that, her? Faye? And they're not even asking for anything.
It's uncommon, but I don't know. There's Well, I mean, we've already got devices that mess with the Feywild. It's not unreasonable that they were there just to clean up a mess or something, or just make sure nothing bad was happening.
Maybe. So, I'm going to take out my coin. And I'm just going to say, if this comes up heads, I'm going to take a look for myself.
Okay.
And I'll flip it.
Let's roll you're going to flip an actual coin for me. You got an actual coin?
Yeah. I have a sushi for yip coin from Nordic.
I also have a yip coin as well.
Okay.
Doesn't your magic coin actually always land on heads?
Shush.
I mean, I think you've got your answer there.
So it landed on heads.
Okay. I'll believe you. What's on the back?
Don't worry about it. It's like, anyone want to join me? I want to see this Faye for myself.
Yes, I would like to.
Right.
Yeah.
Until like an hour ago, they were just stories to me. I would love to see one for myself.
Right.
I think it's best if some of us are going, all of us should go. Especially if we're specifically concerned about Faye.
Okay, and sorry, is that everyone? Is that so Journey, Evian, Scraps?
Yeah, I'll come along.
Foolish?
May as well, if everyone else is gone.
Okay.
Maybe we can get to see it and study it a bit.
Exactly. Make sure to bring your best drawing tablet. Well, I'm going to start heading off towards the centre of the grove again.
I guess you do. Do you leave Terra behind? You're like,
yes.
Terra's
wow.
laying down.
Yeah.
I don't think Terra would want to go back. That's just my guess.
No, that's very reasonable. That's very
And
reasonable.
can we also? I'll also ask Evian to put the pseudo dragon to keep a lookout. They got the best perception.
Yeah, I think the pseudo dragon will take off from shoulder and be. And you'll see when the pseudo dragon takes off, it pushes a bit harder against his shoulder. So Arian almost isn't ready for it, and it pushes him down a little. and then it flies up and is kind of hovering over.
Eager little beastie.
A wee beastie.
If you're gonna keep growing at every level until it's bigger than you,
It's
but it
just
will still be on your shoulder.
a fully grown dragon, yeah.
Yeah. At level 20, I'm just going to be able to ride an adult dragon to combat, apparently.
So,
I have some small talk to do with Ray on the way there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I turn to Ray. Before the performance, you asked me about my vision.
Yes. So, I'm dying. What did you see?
I saw a battle of a fighter and a warlock taking on a hydra. I've been told this story many times over my childhood, and it's important to me, and I was surprised to see it. Actually, Ray, what's your passive wisdom, by the way?
Not good. I think it's -1.
It's
okay,
9.
never mind.
It's 9.
Never mind. That's all you get out of this. No extra comment.
Fuck you.
So mean.
I bet you picked perception now, you dipshit. Sorry.
I've got my perception's pretty good.
Wait, well that is passive wisdom. Perception.
Yeah, I've got a proficiency in perception.
So what is the score?
+1.
Okay, but
No.
what does your passive wisdom say?
11, I guess.
Oh,
So it's better than okay. So yeah, so you get that. I did tell you like the story, but there's probably more to it that I skipped.
Maybe, I'll just say, maybe, sounds like a great story. You have to tell me more, the rest of it.
Yeah.
Maybe over a drink. Maybe next time we go to a real tavern.
We'll see.
Yeah.
What was your vision like?
Oh, it was great. I was back in my element on the sea. I could feel the wind in my hair. It's the first time I felt alive in many weeks. We were in a storm, I think. The ship was crashing over waves. And in the distance, I saw a lady just floating above the sea. There was an aura around her. She seemed special. And she tossed me a coin. And I take out the coin out of my pocket. This coin.
Oh, that's very interesting. Did it just appear?
Well, it is one of my coins. But I swore I left it behind before we left for this adventure. But it's with me now.
That's interesting to hear. I swear that after the vision, my hammer has been feeling a lot lighter than usual. Just feels like it's mine,
Yeah. Does it feel? Yeah. I've seen you swing that thing. Can't wait to see what you do with it now. Now it feels lighter. Now are you seeing what your family of old were doing in your vision? I'm looking forward to swinging this coin at a baddie and doing as much damage as your hammer.
I'm looking forward to that.
Is this a +1 coin, Scorpia?
I mean, yeah, it would do like 1 damage if you slap it into somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you proficient with the coin? That's the question.
Yeah, that's true. Are you proficient in coin?
I'm very proficient with coins because I'm a pirate. I've played games. I'm not a pirate, but yeah. And I would also just turn the journey again and say, "What do you say? Do you want to do a bet? Just for a bit of fun? Put some gold down."
What kind of bet?
Is there actually a fairy in the middle, or do you think Terra's just lost it?
Wow, rude.
I would love to see a fairy. I'm gonna say it is there.
Okay, I'll put 5 gold on there not being a fairy there.
Oh, you want to put gold on it?
Yeah.
Sure, I think we'll find one. I can put 5 gold on it.
Okay, and I'll very firmly shake Journey's hand.
Yeah, I shake it. I shake it.
I'll laugh. I'm having fun.
Oh, likewise, absolutely. I think I'm like in very good spirits after the whole performance and stuff, for sure.
Right, let's keep going.
Absolutely. So you go deeper still, back towards the grove. I can move you onto the grove if you would like. I mean, just for the benefit of having the visual there, I guess. But, did you bring the blink dog with?
Yes.
Okay.
There was no question.
Fair enough.
To restart Roll20 real quick.
I guess I'll let you guys. I've just moved to the map. You guys can move yourselves around. I guess. I've taken terror off the page.
We're just going honk-shoe.
Can you tell the blink dog that we're searching for the Sylvan? In Sylvan, can you tell the blink dog what we're searching for? So that she, probably smell it.
Gladly. I'm just gonna go to the blink dog and just say we're hunting for a fairy. If you see one, rip it to shreds.
God, no, please. No,
I
have no idea what you're saying, so.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else likes Sylvan, right? It's just the one person.
It's just me.
It's still up to the blink dog whether it does this.
Yeah, agreed. But
that's true. I didn't. Yeah, I don't speak Silver. I have no idea what it's saying to it.
How does the blink dog respond, Scorpia?
It just kind of looks at you, tilts its head, and then just kind of goes.
Well, don't make too much of a mess out of it. I might want to ask a couple of questions, but if you see one, bring it back.
I think that you all approach. If you'd like to place yourself on the map and move yourselves along, please do. But I think that you approach the tree. You look. You do see this. You do see a small creature within the alcove. They seem to be feeling over it, taking some kind of notes. And then, I guess at some point, like the crunch of grass seems to give you away, and you watch it fly up into the branches of the tree and look down at you like, wow. I guess that you're the rest of them.
I'll just ask you a question. So, are you a fairy?
What do you think?
Oh, okay. I'll just get 5 gold coins out of my
Yeah,
pouch
I was
and
about to
toss
bump you with like my elbow and like I'll stretch my hand.
Yeah, I'm just going to give Journey like the 5 gold coins.
Thank you.
I'm glad I helped you win a bet, Tweedledum and Tweedle dipshit.
Hey, you hurt our friend's feelings.
Oh, did I? Oh, silly me. They blasted my eyes with light, and then...
Yeah, they do that.
Yeesh. So, what do you want from me? Did I
Do you want to
not...
come down and have a face-to-face conversation instead of hiding up there?
I imagine that, I'm just gonna say what I think is happening. I imagine because of all that and seeing what like I don't know how they're responding if they're thinking to everyone, but Urka, I'm just gonna pull out the crystal from my bag, and I assume that like the fairy might have just ignored them and just been like, is there anyone reasonable in this group? It's like looking, and I'll just be like, you might be interested in this. It seems to be. Well, you seem to be looking for someone.
I work for nobody. But if you would like to bring a useless trinket back to me, then I won't exactly complain. You can keep it.
And I insight that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can insight it.
22.
As far as you can tell,
Not 20.
oh my god! Both of you can tell that this thing is interested in the fact that you found this, and almost like immediate recognition of the thing. But you can tell that the very suggestion that they are working for somebody has annoyed them even further.
I didn't say working. I said looking for.
Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. Well, I take that back to something. But I thought you. I thought you. Maybe they heard you.
No worries.
Yeah. Maybe they literally misheard you. Right. But point being that like they seem genuine in that they do not give a shit about getting that back. As far as you can tell, they just kind of, as I say, the kind of woods always fill with the sound of like cackling and laughter, just at the very suggestion of it. Like, I bet you all think you're so clever, don't you? Come waving around a piece of glass at me. Yes, yes. You intelligent mortals. So smart, so smart. What do you think you know, huh? Please, I'm curious.
Well, it seems to be a sample of something that's called a conduit. I imagine it's got something to do with planar travel, and based on where it connected to, it's either he'll point at I guess the displacer beast corpses.
Yeah, the displacer beast corpse. Yeah, there is a displacer.
Yeah, someone he'll point at that and be like, well, based on that and the fact that that and a boink dog came through that's connected to the Feywilds, and then he'll point at the tree and it being scorched, and he'll be like, there's also a small chance it's connected to one of the material planes, either fire or can connect to a material plane, either earth or fire, or maybe somewhere in between.
you're doing so well. You're doing so well. Listen, I'm a generous sort. I will tell people when they are at least somewhat correct. Yes, indeed, that little piece of glass did indeed open a portal, and you're so observant to realise that it was to the Feywild with a dead displacer beast and a fairy staring you in the face. So very intelligent you are. So very intelligent that you are.
You can't get back either, huh?
Oh, trust me. I can go back whenever I like. I'm merely observing things and taking a few notes and enjoying the riving potential faux intelligence of a number of morons. You think I can't go back to my own realm like blinking to me? I'm not a fucking dog.
I like her.
Don't listen, Scraps.
I'm mad. How far away is this
Well, then if you
creature?
can go back, then you clearly hated being here. So, is there any, I guess you're not going to share the reason, but
Would you?
something you got to document, right?
Just a little bit of experimentation on the material plane. Also, this creature is like up in the tree above you. Like you would.
Yeah, but how far?
Probably about. I don't know how do you think? This tree is a very big tree. Probably somewhere in the region of about 50 feet up in the branches, pretty much.
Oh, too far.
I imagine like it at closest because they probably know or they probably have a good idea of us. They are literally just out of reach because it is a Fae. That's something I think a Fae would do. Just be
perfectly out of reach.
Close,
Yeah.
so close. It's just like nope.
Just tantalizingly close target. Just
So
I'm
so
ready
while-
to sling.
So as at the same time as like perhaps is getting mad, the pseudo dragon's starting to like glow slightly with like sacred flame, like this slight like celestial radiance. That it's just like you can tell that like Arian's also pissed off that they're insulting the dog for no reason.
you ever
I think Uruk will notice this and be like, we don't want to fight this thing, guys.
Can't control your children.
We're not children.
You could fall.
Not his children
The
anyway.
look you get from Uruk is damning.
So what are you?
They're a bit rash.
Yes. You seem to be the intelligent one, although you are playing daycare duty. Very interesting.
Yeah, not something I expected to end up doing, I'll be honest.
Well, that's good. I hope you have a nice time playing daddy for all of these little children. Still, I think I've tired of our little tete-a-tete. I will give you the same warning that I gave your friends. Because, you know what? I like you all. Despite my demeanor, I can respect people that come to investigate claims of seeing fairies and decide to come and insult one far above their own station. It does take a fair amount of courage, so I have to give you that. But I'll say this. Stop sticking your fucking noses where they don't belong. Is that clearer than what I told your stupid little gem friend?
Rude.
Well, I get the sentiment. I've heard it a lot before in my life, but it's pretty hard to not stick your nose where it doesn't belong when you can't see the boundary.
Well, I shall make the boundaries clearer by slicing your nose off next time. And with that, I bid you farewell. You watch again, this time it's not so much a disappearance as it is, you watch literally, their entire body kind of turns like blue and just like literally like they flash out of existence, leaving behind like singe marks on the tree.
I like them.
Well, the portals create the singe marks. Good to know.
I'm like furious, and I'm just like, no one tells me what to do.
You'll find that people much stronger that can kick their shit out of you will tell you what to do, and you've just got to avoid pissing them off.
That's what they say that's what people said when I defended the rights of cats.
I love him.
It's serious. It's serious.
I know, but I love it.
It's so stupid. But yes.
No, I just love I love Scraps. I love how serious Scraps is. Like, I am the defender of the cat's rights, and fully 100% on board. That's what makes it so good.
He's just a bully.
Well, Scraps, I promise, next time we see that fairy, I'll rip it apart. Just for you.
Don't promise that, because if you try and fight that, we have no idea when we're going to see that thing again, and I'd rather not get in a fight with it.
I promise.
Just a big sigh from Eric.
Oh, great. Horrors beyond my comprehension. I can't wait.
Well, from a more out of thing perspective, from his background, he probably not a lot, but there is a lot of stuff in Candlekeep, right? That's just completely fucked.
Yeah.
And it's just he's probably encountered something a bit fucked up in there, and he's like, right, you just don't mess with that stuff.
Candlekeep has an entire, you would know this, Candlekeep has an entire lower basement that is literally, a dragon came to raid Candlekeep, and they fucking basically turned it into a lifelong ghost slave to protect the basement of Candlekeep. There's a fucking ghost dragon down there, which they've basically kept tethered there for thousands of years. These people
also so big that they just don't have it documented. It's just a vast underground labyrinth where it's just there's just shit in there. You might just wander into an aboleth or some shit down there. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, literally.
It's just
you just know that there are things sometimes beyond your
scope, and you just go, you want to help me, boss? And if they're you ask me one more question, I'll kill you. You go why? I'm done. All right. Good to know.
You know what? You make a compelling point. And I think, you know what? I think with that. Oh, sorry. I was going to say
one last quick thing.
Go for it.
I look disappointed, and I hand the 5 gold coins back to Rai. And I say, I expected to see a fairy, not an asshole. I'm severely disappointed. Let's call it a draw.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I'll slap Jenny on the back and say, yeah.
Let's head back to camp and
hope we find you a real fairy one day.
I would love to see one. That was not it.
You got such a nice idyllic view of fairies.
I heard about them in stories. What do you expect from them?
No, I know, I love it.
We'll get Journey there, a fairy in a bottle.
That particular one will be hilarious if we do capture.
Yes. Let's try and get him in a bottle. That's my new threat.
I should point out that fairies are not pixie sized.
No, but we're gonna put him in a big bottle.
You're gonna get.
I was picturing that. Okay, did not that.
Like a barrel.
Yeah, you're gonna put him in a Magnum champagne bottle.
I'm pretty sure that fairies tend to be a little bit larger. I think pixies are tiny, and I think fairies tend to be the small type variety, really. That's the kind of size he was, at the very least. He was diminutive, but not an insect, And yes. Anyway, with that, I think we shall call that the end of the session, because we've been going for about 3.5 hours. So